Alright. Besides whatever the frick is happening with my chat, we're good! And, yep, it's available. Haha. Oh boy. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Blah blah. But yeah, hello, hello, hello. Welcome, we're continuing this chaos that is this game. In a good way, but you know, you always think of it kind of like a, interesting way? I don't know what to... Ace Attorney is interesting. I think it was this. Yep, okay. Now I have to remember how to do all the voices. It's my favorite thing. Witness, let's get one thing straight. The defendant whom you claim to have met, she was wearing this demon warding hood, correct? Of course! That is a very important piece of clothing, I'll have you know. Wahaha, wahaha, haha. Wait a minute. Oh boy. I get to try to do two accents that I am not freaking qualified, but you know. Hold it right there. Why do you have that? That's the question of the day, isn't it? Now, Miss Von Kalma, I'll have you know that this hood was given to someone as a gift that night, before the lights out bell was rung. What? You know where I'm going with this, don't you? If the witness had seen the defendant as she claims, then the iris she saw should have been missing this very hood. Well, well, well! Ba-da-dum-ba-dum-bum. It's not a bad feeling at all, exposing contradictions like this. Now I understand that happy look on Wright's face every time he does it. Alright, I think I got his frickin' voice in there. Sister, this hood. You have spare ones around the temple, don't you? Spares? Well, I do tend to make too many of them. See, a stockpile. A surplus of hoods, eh? Each nun is only given one hood. This should be the only one that Iris owned. And this is quite strange. Wah! Wah! Luigi. If there was a surplus of hoods, then she could have worn one of those. There is no contradiction here. Sorry to break this to you, Miss Von Karma, but you won't get away that easily. Discrepancies such as this will sow seeds in any human heart. The seeds of doubt. One of them English ones. Russians just make them both Germans to split the difference. No, one's in German. Because Franziska was in Germany until she came over... If I remember... Yeah, born and raised in Germany. I'm not gonna split the difference. Goodness. Witness, while I don't wish to call your testimony into doubt, you must give every detail with precision. I'm not sure I'm comfortable going along with this. Sister, you shall continue with your testimony. Tell us what you saw after finishing your bath, on your way back to the inner temple. Those seeds of doubt are sprouting in the judge's heart. They just need a little more stimulation to bear fruit. Contradictory stimulation. Why? Is that the words you say, Edgeworth? Your mind is a thing, I guess. After my bath. I finished my bath around 11, and I thought I should return to the inner temple. And as I was walking back, I heard a noise from the courtyard. I took a look and Iris was, Mystic Elise. And with that sword of all things. Hello. Mystic Elise was staying in the corner room, which faces out onto the courtyard. It would be better to split the difference then. Oh my goodness. You haven't missed too much. I just got one contradiction that, Mystic Bikini said that Iris looked the same as she did at dinner, but she gave her hood, which maybe I should do this so I can describe what I'm meaning. There we go. So this hood right here that Iris gave to Phoenix, so obviously she looked different than she did if she saw her later in the day. So why is she saying that Iris had her look the same as she did before dinner? The stabbing I saw must have occurred after she was pushed out of her window. Goodness. You saw a truly terrible sight, didn't you? I don't fully get it, but okay. So, to explain it really quick, because it's not even that big of a deal. So the people that work at the temple are given one hood, one, demon warding hood. We have this cloud of a judge. Yep. Yep. So these hoods are given to, the priestesses at this temple where the murder happened. All of them are given one. So it's weird that Bikini said that she said Iris looked the same as she was during dinner, but after dinner she didn't have a hood. Stuff like that. If I was in your place, then it would be much like Miss Von Karma whipping Mr. Edgeworth in two in court. What is that sentence? And me seeing it all from this very chair. Or, well, something like that. This judge. His imagination is about as vivid and creative as Detective Gumshoe. I would like the fool if I commented on such foolishness. Anyway, this case is mine. Miles Edgeworth. Calling everyone by their full name, can't you do something about that habit of yours? No, she cannot. Alright. 11, I thought I should return the Ender Temple. Yeah, we're playing as Edgeworth. Yep, so I get to try to do a British accent and a German accent at the same time. Joy. Or one after the other, but the point still makes sense. How far is it from your room to the Inner Temple? Let me think a moment. About 20 minutes on these stumps of mine. It's about 15 minutes to Dusky Bridge from Hazakura Temple. Then the Inner Temple is just beyond the bridge. Still, you never made it back there that night, did you? That's right. I was heading along the walkway towards the main hall. And I was walking back, I heard a noise from the courtyard. I just want to see... Hello! Welcome! Well, I'm guessing the courtyard is, like, either here, because this is the front door, so it's, like, somewhere over there. You say you heard a noise? Thump, just like that. That could only be the sound of the victim falling. It's very quiet. It's in the temple, you know. You can even hear the snow falling from the branches. Thump, just like that. But then, couldn't this noise you heard have been snow falling to the ground? I never thought of that. Wah, wah, ha. Oh ho, 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 ho. Wah. Goodness, this is ironically good voice acting. Well, thank you. I'm trying my darndest. I'm not saying that it is great, but I am trying my gosh darn best. I lied. Well, thanks. Oh, goodness. Mwahahahahaha. You want to be like Sister Bikini over there? Joke. Which one's the joke? The next one to laugh gets a whipping. Whipping, goodness.
Well, whatever the source of the sound, I looked over at the courtyard and...
So I guess it's on the side of the building. Iris, the sword of all things. Okay. Goodness.
This is the second time that the witness has testified to seeing the defendant. But some doubt remains in these claims. Hey, just what does that mean?
Yes, it's very funny. I think it'd be more strange for me to just stare into the abyss without me saying anything, but yes. Okay, there we go. But yeah,
It's definitely funny to see how loud my voice becomes and how low it gets, and then,
you know, depending on what I'm doing, it just definitely changes. Yeah, it definitely sounds weird when you have someone like Sister Bikini coming out of my voice. It's like, yeah, you don't sound like that.
just because you're a good-looking young man doesn't give you the right to... Ugh, goodness. The murderer who stabbed the victim with the sword. Sister Bikini, try to recall exactly who it was you saw, as clearly as you can.
There it is.
Well, you're such a handsome young man, so I'll forgive you.
Wow, they were right about her in her bio. Hello, welcome.
Oh, now that you mention it, there was something awfully strange about her. Something that has been bugging me all this time. Please don't keep us in suspense. Her hood.
Her hood?
That's right, it's coming back to me. Iris, she wasn't wearing her hood. I thought something was out of place, but it all makes sense now, doesn't it?
Ha! You don't have to, it's just... I thought it was a funny joke. Whether you... trust them or not, that it's just the joke. Because I thought it was a good joke.
After all, she's given that hood away to someone, right?
Erk. Great, we fell into a hole that we made. Huh. You dug your own grave, Miles Edgeworth. What do you say, Mr. Edgeworth? Is this testimony important? Yes. Oh, goodness. Golly gosh.
This may initially appear to put me at a disadvantage, but I can't see any other leads at the moment. Your Honor, I would like this new statement to be added to the testimony.
Miles Edgeworth, if you want to hang yourself, you only need to ask. I'll gladly lend you my whip. Okay, witness, add that statement to your testimony.
No problem.
Now that you mention Iris didn't have her hood on. Okay.
Are you sure about that?
I finished my lore. Good for you. Now update the autopsy report. Why would it update the autopsy? Where even is the autopsy? Do we even have an autopsy? Okay, we do. It just... Why would that be important to the autopsy report? The autopsy report only relates to the body. No, Iris was in the hood. Ha 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 ha.
Are you sure about that? Yes, after all, we always wear the same clothes. I don't mean because we're poor, you understand. It's our style, yes, that's it.
There's absolutely no need to explain yourself.
Anyway, she looked different from Norma, so that's really stuck out.
Like me holding a whip puppy. Whipping puppy instead of my whip. Just the after went back in the corner. Ah, so you're making that joke.
At least it might bite you and not someone else. Iris didn't have her hood on, I'm sure of it.
Very well. Now, please tell us about the victim, eh? Oh my goodness. Was staying in the corner room. Okay, so this is important. For what reason? I do not know. Alright, well, so that didn't give me information. Now that you mentioned Iris didn't have her hood on. Rang the bell and then was in her room until the murder was discovered. 11 cause of death, stabbing back, body fell 10 feet after death. And then the courtyard. Okay, it don't tell me much, does it? Now that you mention it, Iris didn't have her hood. What would this do for me? I don't know. I don't know what this would do. Defendant doesn't seem to have any spiritual powers. Victim, picture book author, unknown age, English teacher. For Delilah to have a twin sister, just change her appearance from Delilah to Iris. Anything is possible. Anything is possible. Or they're cousins. Now that you mention it, Iris didn't have her hood on. Wait, what did you say again? Are you sure about that? Yes, after we always wear the same clothes. Now the horror, so that's there's absolutely explain yourself. That doesn't really tell me anything. I guess I'll just go through the rest of them. Are you certain the victim actually died? Well... This is the crime scene, I'm assuming she's dead. Like, she's an older woman, and I'm just gonna be honest, yeah. Cousins, unless they're an Alabama, so these are... Hey, some people just look similar. We're just gonna be honest. Elise was staying in the corner room, which faces onto the courtyard.
The room the victim was staying in overlooked the courtyard, correct?
Which means the victim's room was on the second floor?
No, Hazakura Temple is a single-story building, but the mountain itself slopes downward, which elevates the main gate outside of the temple and the guest rooms in the back to about the height of a two-story building.
That is a large slope. I see, and the victim was staying in one of these elevated rooms, correct?
Yes, I should know. I'm the one who carried her things to her room, after all.
Okay, the stabbing I saw must have occurred after she was pushed out of her window. How did you know that?
What makes you so sure of all this? It's just like I told you earlier. I heard a noise from the courtyard. Okay? Thump, just like that.
You're one smart sister, I'll give you that. The autopsy report states that the victim's body was covered in bruises, indicating a fall from around 10 feet in height. It appears that the witness was not mistaken then.
Yep, I'm more than just a pretty face, especially in winter. I'm a woman of faith, after all, the head honcho of Hazakura Temple. There's only 2 of them working there.
What's wrong, Miles Edgeworth? No snappy comeback remark?
It doesn't feel like she's lying. This is very powerful testimony, too. She claims to have seen the instant in which the defendant stabbed the victim. There are only 2 things I can leave in right now. My client, Iris, and my own abilities as a defense attorney.
Like I said, we'll find out as the story progresses. I would have preferred by statue than by a girl who uses sneak tactics. Oh my god. Like I said, you can take a guess on who it is. We still got a while. Alright, so Iris, now that you mention it, she didn't have her hood on. no. Lightning struck. Just let her go to jail. Oh my gosh. How can she do it? She's not in the game. I'm kind of like, is it the weather report? But it's freaking parent weapon. I'm like, what? Rang out at 10 and was in the room until the murder discovery. Loss of blood from stab in the back. Body fell 10 feet after death. Which one? Maybe in Misery. I watched and real voice is terrifying. Oh my goodness. Okay. You guys have so many assumptions about her. Goodness. So, loss of blood from the stab in the back. Body fell 10 feet after death. So she was stabbed in the back, and then her body fell after she was already dead. So she was stabbed. And then my goodness. This poor woman. Oh, boy. Mr. Martin leaves no traces of her actions. Well, that's your guys' assumption. Oh my goodness. I am so confused. I can't believe I have to look for the first one. It's like, what is it that they want in this first part? Is this the first part of trial or second part of trial? 11 was sort of all things staying. There's this fifth statement. Oh, okay, everybody. Fifth. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Huh? Thanks. What? My goodness, that are the most terrible. My goodness. Okay, so that statement didn't do anything for me, so I am correct in thinking this. Okay. Nope. It said, did I miscount statements? Whoopsie. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Tinier the being, the tinier the being, the bigger the evil. Wow. This is the okay. Oh, the stabbing I saw must have occurred after she was pushed out of her window. Okay, so I was in the right thought. It's just this one. Okay.
Impressive logic, that's what I'd like to say, anyway. Oh, please do, my brain is something else, especially in winter. However, I think you are overlooking one thing. Miss Von Karma, would you be as so kind to take another look at the autopsy report?
With a small heart. Wow. Leave Small Rat alone, she did nothing. The autopsy report.
The victim did fall from a height of 10 feet. However, this fall was after she was killed.
Ah. That's right, it says after death right here. Knew it. Updates. It was there before.
The scene the witness claims to have seen is contradictory. If the defendant stabbed and killed the victim there in the courtyard, how did the victim then go on to take a 10-foot fall?
Yes, her dead body just walked up to go back to her room to do it. It just jumped down. Yeah, that makes sense. Order. I'm gonna admit it in a heartbeat. Wow. The victim was killed and then fell. If that is the case, then the victim must have been killed in her room. Don't you agree?
That is the logical conclusion. Yes, that's right. The victim must have been stabbed by the defendant in her own room. And she was then thrown out of her window down into the courtyard below.
Were there any signs of a struggle in Miss Denham's room? She was stabbed with a sword. That would leave a blood stain, wouldn't you agree?
Well, Miss Von Karma, was there any blood?
What? No traces of blood were found in the victim's room.
Your whip has just caused traces of blood to be found on my glorious playoff beer. However, if there was no blood in the room, then your claim that...
What? I'm sure there's no need for me to go over this. As I'm sure Your Honor is very aware of when a stab wound produces the most blood.
When it produces the most blood.
Very little blood is actually lost at the moment of a blade's insertion. If you want to talk about when the most blood would be lost from a body, that would be when the blade is removed.
Indeed, with the weapon still in place, it acts like a lid on the wound.
That's true. With the weapon still in the body, there wouldn't be much bleeding. Perfectly reasonable line of thinking. So you're saying she was stabbed in there, just put it in there, stabbed her with this weird sword, waited for her to die, and then threw her out the window? Is that what's being said right now? Goodness.
We have come to a conclusion that the victim was thrown out of the window with the sword still in place. This removes all of the contradictions.
Why am I not bleeding? Yeah. It's one of those things where you're like, she just carrying it around with no issues at all, just moving along. Order, order, order. I must admit that this is a probable version of events.
Expect no less from Franziska von Karma. She locates and takes control of every vital point.
Seems that we need a clearer testimony from the witness. Remove all supposition on your part and tell us only the facts, please. Witness, please. Remain standing on the crate.
Don't go selling me short now. The weight of winter snow has bent me out of shape. Especially my back and my mood.
Sister, please, give us your testimony. I will give you a vigorous massage once we are finished here.
With the whip? Oh boy, alright.
I don't believe a second that Franziska will do that. I'm going to take a wild guess that it's going to be Gumshoe.
When I looked at across the scene, the sword was already in place. Thinking about it now, I wouldn't actually see her stab Mystic Elise. I've never seen so much blood before. That's when I fainted. You can't blame me, can you? And when I woke, Mystic Ami was stabbing Mystic Elise through the back.
But it's with the whip. You really think she would do that with her whip? She treasures that thing. This all confirms Miss Von Karma's theory.
Von Karma strive for nothing but perfection. Putting together such facts is nothing for me. You should know that, Miles Edgeworth.
Perfection is an impossibility, Franziska von Karma.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And I'm here to teach you just that.
Oh boy, further details. Looked across the scene, the sword was already in place. That just sounds weird. Alright.
At the time, was the victim bleeding? Well, I was very shocked to be seeing all this, of course, so I'm not entirely sure. But I don't think I saw any blood, not then.
I'm sure you did it. The weapon was acting as a plug in the wound.
In any case, let's be clear on one very important point. Did you actually see the instant in which the victim was stabbed?
Thinking about it, I didn't actually see her stab Mystic Elise.
Think carefully, this is very important. It's Iris we're talking about here. I'm thinking for all I'm worth. No, when I looked over, the sword was already in Mystic Elise's body. It might not be conclusive, but this testimony supports her theory.
The victim was stabbed in her room and then dropped into the courtyard. I think this proves it's rather well, Miles Edgeworth.
Blood before. I want to look at the crime scene photo again. I think I'm just freaking. That is not that much blood. That's with the sword built like that. There should be at least 3 wounds. Wait. Who knows? But that's not a lot of blood. At least to me, that's not a lot of blood. Yeah, but I'm guessing that it just would. If my guess is that this little bit was the one that was inside, and these just got it from the blood that was pouring out of the back of her, where the wound was. All right.
So you're saying that you saw the victim's blood? That's right. Some of it splattered onto Iris too.
When the defendant was arrested, she was meditating in her room, and her blood-flecked clothing was neatly folded in the corner.
What? Her clothes were blood-flecked as well?
Really? That seems quite conclusive to me. She just had the folded bloody clothes in the corner. Okay.
What should I do? Press this point further.
Press further. In the front, then my lower back. Oh boy.
Going back to your previous statements, you said that you saw a little bleeding when the victim was stabbed. But now, you say you saw the victim bleeding? Well, I say that what I saw is what I saw.
What did you see?
Maybe I didn't see the poor woman get stabbed, but I saw the girl pull the sword out of her, plain as day.
Pulling the sword out.
Well, it wasn't exactly pulling. It was more like it came out.
Witness, you add the statement to your testimony.
Oh, was that important? More important than you can imagine.
I saw the instant in which the blade plunged into the hilt was smoothly drawn out. What does that mean to me?
Smoothly, you say? You're saying you saw the sword smoothly slide out? That's right. The whole thing happened right next to the gold statue of Mystic Ami. Mystic Elise was on the ground and Iris was stooped over her. The sword was buried up to the hilt.
Oh, wow. Wait, now that I think about this now, up to the hilt. Why was there so little blood then? If it was up to the hilt, up here, why is there no blood? All the way down. Speaking of, like, the sword is just the tip of the blade. It's not up here. There's no blood. Nothing too much happened. The only thing technically that happened is that Sister Bikini says that she never saw the stabbing, but saw that Iris pulled the sword out. She's in her hand just slid out the mystic vampire killer. There would be bleeding. Okay, nothing out of place here. Blah, blah, blah. I don't want that. Up to the hilt at that point, you might as well cook a whole body in that sword. Oh my gosh. But yeah, that's what I fainted. You can't blame me, can you? And when I woke, Mystic Ami was stabbing Mystic Elise.
Why was it necessary to use this
Why is this sword coming back to bite me in the butt? Shito
from the Ami statue as a weapon? Why was the weapon ultimately placed back in the hand of the statue? If I can expose the flaws in this testimony, perhaps then I will begin to find the truth.
Well, I missed something. When I looked across the scene, the swords aren't in place. Thinking about it now, I didn't actually see her stab Elise. Is this the one that was... carefully. No, it was already in the body. My inclusive. And then dropped in the courtyard. I think it brewed as well. Okay, I read that. Sushi. Goodness. Oh yeah, here it is. I saw the instant in which the blade plunged into the hilt. Was smoothly drawn out. And at least in the image that she shows, that the game shows to us, is this. How is there no blood on... If... Obviously this is a representation of what's happening. But how did this only get the top of the blade if it was all the way up here? Where's all the blood? Pulled turkey. That's so roasted. Well, it's a giant sword. We're not gonna deny that. Well, fact. Goodness. Okay, nothing out of place here. Is that really the case? Can't be. But something could have possibly happened. I've never seen so much blood. Okay. I saw the instant in which the blade... Okay. This is what I want. Because I think... Do I just put the sword? Yep. Okay.
Sister Bikini, you are a reliable witness. At least I'd like to think so. But there are too many contradictions here. What do you mean? You make it sound as though I'm a liar. But you're a handsome young man, so I'll forgive you.
What contradictions are you talking about?
In the scene that the witness...
Okay. Gets persuaded by the looks way too easily. So did Miss Oldbag. So, you know, anything's possible. I guess older women just really are attracted to Edgeworth. It literally says that in his freaking wiki page, that a lot of women are attracted to him, but he's just oblivious.
In the scene that the witness claims to have seen, the weapon was thrust up to its hilt into the victim. Furthermore, the killer withdrew the weapon smoothly from the body.
The Irish gaming coming to court. Goodness.
However, both of these are completely impossible possibilities.
Act like that in front of Phoenix? Probably not.
Explain yourself.
To start with, do you think it would be possible to stab someone to the hilt with this?
It would be very... not impossible, but very, 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 very difficult. Look at this thing. It's jacket all the way up.
No matter how I look at the defendant, she doesn't appear strong enough for that.
Doesn't appear. What meaningless dribble. I too may appear to be weak and fat. But I can crush men under my heel and make them weak, should I choose.
The objection stands. I wept a little back there, I must admit. Sorry. Oh, that was funny.
This isn't the only issue here. If the sword was truly stabbed into the body up to the hilt, well, just look at the branches on it. It certainly wouldn't come out smoothly.
That's... The one who stabbed her was just weak to the core. Wow.
We also have the problem of the amount of bleeding. It's true that when a blade is left in the body, it acts as a plug of sorts. However, when the weapon is shaped like this, it's an entirely different story.
That is true. It's freaking not a normal blade. It's not gonna be like plugging up anything if there's another thing pushing into the body at the same time.
The wound would be too large for the blade to completely stop the bleeding.
There's nothing more than conjecture. In reality, the victim was stabbed with the shutishito. Even a weapon of this nature may still sometimes slide out smoothly, and veins still sometimes stop the blood loss.
Yeah.
I'm not finished. There is still one more conclusive contradiction.
You still got more?
One is simple. If the sword really was thrusted all the way to the hilt, why is there only blood on the tip of it?
That was my question. If it was all the way up here, where's the blood? And you can't say, oh, because she was laying on the ground, it would still bother me. Being afraid of... Imagine being afraid of spiders. Ha 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 ha. I hate spiders. I despise them. Ah.
If this witness is telling the truth, then there should be blood along the entire length of the sword.
No. Yeah, I don't like bugs, if that wasn't obvious.
Bravo, Miles Edgeworth. Raising this many contradictions from a single piece of evidence. All the other attorneys I know could maybe manage one, if that.
But what does this all mean? If you have proven contradictions regarding the murder weapon, but...
Then come this far, there can only be one answer.
And that is?
The weapon used to kill the victim was not the
Shito.
What?
A foolish idea born from the foolish mind of a fool.
Oh my gosh, Chisito. I can't.
A foolish idea born from the foolish mind of a foolhardily foolish fool.
Shito. Shito.
I can't. The SHCH is my brain.
Shito. There's no SH? Isn't there? I might be. There is an SH. Shito. I'm gonna be honest, at least if it's the pronunciation that's not said like that. Chisito. Or Shito. Goodness. Is this what the debate? Oh, there is. I am blind. It's okay. There's just so many there's so many letters in this thing. It kind of just blends together. Yeah, Shito. Sounds like Chisto. Yeah, it kind of does, but it is funny. Anyway,
let's examine this again. What was it that made us think that the sword was the murder weapon? Well, it's because Mr. Gami was holding it. Exactly. However, if you reflect on this, that is the only basis we have to assume such a thing. The impression left by the scene was just too strong. That is what influenced us. It influenced us to believe that the
Shito.
That the Shito was the murder weapon.
And that was spelled. It's fine. It's not an issue. Because even if there's an SH, sometimes things don't... Just because there's an SH in there, or letters in a word, doesn't always mean in English that it is pronounced. Like, we're not getting into... I can't think of a word right now, but... Yeah. It's something like that. It's fine. I just know I'm like... The SH and CH hurt my brain trying to say it out loud.
So maybe oh my gosh, this sword is going to bother the heck out of me. So maybe the
literally means the seven. Yeah, it's the we've learned that it was the 7-branch sword. It's a ceremonially believed to be gifted from. Yeah, that I do know because they said when the weapon was in the mass to mass thing that it was the 7-branch sword. That's why it's built. That's why it's constructed the way it is. I'm literally going to put this one comment up so I can look at it. Give me that. Pin that so I can see that. Okay.
So maybe the Shichishito was not the motor weapon. Even if that is the case, it changes nothing, Miles Edgeworth.
Does it have 7? I think it does. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Because you have to consider this is a branch. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then the main blade is 7. So it's 7 branches.
Ooh. The sister here saw everything. She saw the defendant stab the victim with a sword-like object.
That's true. Your response, Mr. Edgeworth? It's 7 if you count the main thing as a branch, which technically it is a branch in definition of things. Yeah, that's why I think the tip is considered 7, because it's technically a branch. It doesn't count. I'm not getting into the logistics of this. I think it counts.
If that is so, I would like the prosecution to answer this obvious question it raises.
The obvious question?
Yes, namely, where did the real murder weapon disappear to?
Yeah, good question. If this 7 branch sword is not the weapon, what is?
It goes without saying that the police searched the main area and the surrounding area. Perhaps the prosecution can enlighten us as to if a sword-like object was found.
That's...
Answer the question, Miss Von Karma.
No evidence of the kind was found.
Frick, then. Another mystery to throw onto the pile. A trial without a murder weapon is a tricky beast.
Excuse me, can I say something? I just remembered something, actually.
What is it, sister?
I was just thinking, it's possible that just maybe what actually happened was, it was just over there.
What exactly are you going on about here?
The murder weapon, I mean, maybe. I think maybe I know where the sword was disposed of.
You what?
Well then. I think we need to hear testimony from you one more time, sister.
Impossible. What else? What else could this old woman have seen?
It was frickin' dark out. What has she seen, is my question. Location of the weapon.
I saw the murder around 11 p.m. And after asking that it be reported, I went out to the main gate. And there, I saw tracks that indicated the snowmobile had been used. It takes 15 minutes to walk to Dusky Bridge, but less than 5 using one of those. Maybe they threw the weapon into Eel River and came back when I was knocked out.
Her eyes are built different. It is very possible. She has been living up in these mountains, so anything. I would believe it. She might just have really good frickin' eagle vision. She has the fudge mountains of eagle vision.
Iris could have done that. She can drive a snowmobile after all.
Oh boy. Witness, please tell us everything you know right away next time.
Well, I'm not in the best shape. With my back and my age, you know.
How old is Sister Bikini? Has she stated? She's not that old. What does she mean? She's not that old.
Quite. There were indeed snowmobile tracks in front of the main gate.
Aren't you funny?
Here is a photograph.
Okay, my evidence. Every few so people has one of their 6 senses enhanced than the average. It's definitely true. I think that's very possible. And believable in humans, man. Snowmobile, eh? I see. Well, it certainly is an interesting theory.
The tracks begin in front of Hazakura Temple and run all the way to Dusky Bridge.
Huh. Taken that night from main gate to Dusky Bridge. Okay.
That solves your pesky little problem, yes? The Eagle River's current is quite swift, meaning that it doesn't freeze over in winter, making it the perfect place to dispose of the murder weapon.
Did she really go to the river to dispose of the murder weapon?
Mr. Edgeworth, cross-examination, please. Okay, let's go. I saw the murder around 11 p.m. I just want to see the weather report again. 11 p.m. lightning. Or 2. Lightning struck at 10:45. Around 30 minutes passed between the fire going. Okay.
Are you sure about the time? Yes, I was worried about it, after all.
Why was that?
Because I have a strong sense of responsibility, especially at this time of year. The acolyte was being doused in freezing water at the time. I couldn't very well take it easy in the bath all night now, could I? So at 11 I decided to leave Hazakura Temple. Your estimation of time seems reliable, at least.
Please continue, sister.
After asking, I went to the main gate.
You asked Phoenix Wright to report the crime, correct? Right, the one who trampled me. Seems she's the type to hold a grudge. There isn't a phone in the...
Sorry, that was on.
There isn't a phone in the main hall, so I sent him to the bridge.
Phoenix Wright. He didn't even have his cell phone on him.
He had forgotten it at home, apparently.
What a naive boy, as always. Not only do I always carry my phone, but I always have my whip in hand too.
Well, you're also probably very organized, and Phoenix is not always organized.
Anyway, I was really scared, and it was taking him a while to get back. So I thought I'd go out by the main gate for a spell.
And I saw the tracks that indicated snowmobile had been used. Alright.
As I recall, there was a snowmobile outside the main gate when I visited. That's it. That's the only one we have.
And whose hearing is ridiculous, he can hear anything up to a mile almost. Wow, that's probably very convenient. Oh, Phoenix killed them. What do you mean? We were with Phoenix the entire time. You couldn't have done it.
It runs no matter how much snow falls. Now you're certain the snowmobile was there at the main gate when you arrived? Yes, of course. It was parked in front of the gate.
So she had already gone, discarded the murder weapon, and returned by the... So she had already gone, discarded the murder weapon, and returned by that time.
I'm not sure if this is really relevant. What should I do?
Press. It's not... He rarely ever gets to sleep because he always hears everything in that radius.
Well, he can get, mufflers or earplugs.
I need answers to every possible doubt. The snowmobile in question, was it still warm at the time? Huh? What do you mean?
What do you mean, eh? What do you mean, Miles Edgeworth?
I'm playing to a small crowd here. It goes without saying that using a snowmobile will heat its engine. If it was still warm, then it means it was recently used. Ah, I see, I never thought of that.
That's right, I overlooked that too.
Of course you did.
Then answer the question, please, witness. I don't often go around touching hot engines. However, now that you mention it, there wasn't any snow on it.
Snow?
Yes, for some reason, only the snowmobile wasn't covered in snow. There wasn't any snow on it?
Curses. See, it's highly likely that the killer did use the snowmobile then, eh?
How long does it take to get to Dusky Bridge by snowmobile?
That's what only reduces the noise mostly, so he does occasionally get sleep. Oh! And there's all the tracks. I just want to look. Because the weather report of snow was from 7 to 11 or 10:50, and lightning started around that time. So snow would still be falling around the time that this is all happening. It takes 15 minutes. Alright, let's just continue through this.
In that case, why didn't you use it yourself? You could have spared yourself some walking. Ah, there's a reason for that. Have we got a moment to explain? For me to explain?
I think that's why the question was asked in the first place.
It was about a month ago. I was driving my beloved little snowmobile, happy as can be. I'd fetched some water and was heading back when I crashed into a tree. The tree and my back both went crunch, just like that. Crunch.
Crunch.
I haven't been able to find the courage to write anything ever since. Then, I knew the killer must have used it.
Ow. No wonder her back is messed up. Oh my god. Bikini, how are you alive? I don't know. Apparently, she just ran into a tree. And for maybe they threw the whip around.
Refresh your memory. How long were you knocked out for? Like I said, somewhere between 10 to 20 minutes.
It's possible to get to the bridge and back in 10 minutes using the snowmobile.
I have to concede that it...
Goodness.
I have to concede that there is more than enough time.
Is that all you wish to concede, Miles Edgeworth?
Someone still has grudges, as always. Could have done that. She can drive a snowmobile after all.
Well, it would have been possible time-wise. One element remains out of place here.
Oh, and what would this mysterious element be?
The killer's reasoning, Your Honor. Why did the killer do all of this? Why go to Eagle River to dispose of the murder weapon when there are other methods?
Too many unanswered questions. Your response, Miss Von Karma?
Wah. Turning to me for help over the slightest thing. Why don't you think for yourself once in a while, Your Honor?
What?
She's over the top as always.
Anyway, whatever the reason, the fact remains that the defendant could have done this. The model weapon was disposed of in the river. Another point to me, Miles Edgeworth.
Mystery feed the fire. Was there any reason to go and throw away the murder weapon? Luckily, there's surely a problem with the status. What I know all I have to do is start poking holes in this file account. There, I saw tracks. I saw the murder at around 11 p.m. After asking that to be reported, I went out to make it. I don't... This may be them for me, but I'm gonna guess this. Nope. I was just like, oh, well, the thing, how would you see snow? Nope. I was like, how are you going to see snow if it's still snowing? I just could have done that, snowmobile. Game called Dredge, it's a funny fishing sim. Oh yeah, I think I know about that, isn't it? Like, oh my gosh, what is his name? I can't remember. The Octopus Man. If I was in the screen, it would take less than a second for me to get sense. Wow. The Octopus God Man that I can't think of. Inspired. That I can't remember his name right now. It's somewhere in my head, but I can't remember. So around after that, ow, there I saw tracks. Yeah, Cthulhu, thank you. I was like, Cthulhu. Yeah, yes, Cthulhu, that's the one I was trying to think of. I'm like, it's the Octopus Man. The giant Octopus Man. But there's footprints here too. But was this from the next day? Taken that night. Let me look at that picture. But playing Road of the Dead. I have never even heard of that one. I can't even... So there's footprints before this. That's interesting. Really asking Menge. I saw murder around 11 p.m. Blah, blah, blah. Let me... What does Edgeworth have to say? Another mystery. Was there any reason to go and throw away the murder weapon? What this does. New show game. Huh. I guess I can look real quick. Road of the... Road of... Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen that before. Maybe, I might take a look at that later. Okay. Sure, there's a problem with this testimony. I'll do the second one, too. Blah, blah. I think this is the statement. His good lore. Does it now? Everyone loves a good story. So, the weather report doesn't work. Nope. I thought maybe. You'll know we could. Oh boy. Well, it means that you guys enjoyed the game. That's all I really can say about that. Takes 15 minutes, but no less than using to walk to the bridge, but less than 5. I have this photo. I'm assuming I'm going to use it, but what does it... There's... I don't know, I guess we'll be random. Nope. I thought maybe it would be nice to me, but you never know. You never know. You never know. Oh, it's not a horror game? Oh my goodness. Ugh. You drive, upgrade car, crashes on me, checkpoint mark. Oh boy. It must have partly zombies. I just have a lot of people in my chat that like zombie games, I guess. Am I... Maybe I'm just like, what? Paper 16. Huh. What? This is such a weird thing that I have to do. So maybe they threw the weapon into Eagle River and came back while I was knocked out. This is one of those awkward ones.
I meant that... I meant this photograph proves something. It proves the snowmobile... that the snowmobile was used on the night of the murder.
You finally accepted the inevitable, it seems, Miles Edgeworth.
However, if what the witness says is true, then why is there only one set of tracks?
What do you mean?
Iris left Hatsukoa Temple, threw the weapon into the river, and then returned. If this was the case, then naturally there should be 2 sets of tracks in the snow. Those heading out from the bridge and those coming back. Oh, you're right!
You're forgetting one thing, Miles Edgeworth. On the night of the murder, it was snowing. The tracks leading to the bridge were erased by the snowfall. This removes your precious contradiction now, doesn't it?
I see. Well, she was at the river, the snow stopped, leaving just the return tracks in the snow.
What do you have to say now, Miles Edgeworth?
Is there a flaw in her theory? This idea that the snowfall covered one set of tracks.
There's a contradiction. If you do play the Road of the Dead, it should take you less than 3 hours to play the first game. Huh. Well, like I said, I will look into it. That's not a yes, but I'll look into it. And it's maybe.
The tracks to the river were covered by snow. What a nice theory. However, Miss Von Karma, that is impossible.
Would you care to explain why there is a rude index finger currently pointed in my general direction?
Oh boy. No need. The evidence will do all of the talking for me.
On the night of the murder, the killer went to and returned from Dusky Bridge. In order to dispose of the murder weapon, the outgoing tracks were erased by snow. Or so claims Miss Von Karma. Mr. Edgeworth, present your evidence to the contrary, eh? Evidence that the outgoing tracks were not covered by snow. Finally, I get to use the weather report.
Witness, please tell us again what time it was when you witnessed the crime. Like I said, it was around 11. Of course, this means that the weapon was thrown away after that time, correct? On that note, please take a look at this data. It is...
But yeah, like I said, I will try it. But yes, I finally get to use the weather report. Woo!
It is the weather report for Eagle Mountain on the night of the murder.
The weather report?
Snow started to fall at 7 p.m., but it stopped around 10:50. Therefore, when the sister witnessed the crime at 11 p.m., the snow had already stopped falling.
No, I did not say that.
It is impossible for any tracks made after that time to have been covered up.
Order. Very well then. It looks like Miss Von Karma's claim has been snowed in.
Wow. It's too soon to be closing this trial due to snow. Miles Edgeworth, how pathetic of you to rely on the weather of all things.
Excuse you? It's data that exists. What do you mean?
Answer me this then. When is a weather report ever correct?
No. You got it all wrong. This isn't a forecast. This is actual data.
Gah! Forecast data or weather reports have some inaccuracies. It may have still been snowing in the vicinity well past 11 p.m.
This game is set for the jury. Yeah. No one is useless in this. And they use all the characters they introduce. That's for sure. It's true, we cannot be totally sure, eh?
What? How did she pull that off?
By whining. It had stopped snowing at Hazakura Temple when the murder took place. You need to prove conclusive evidence of this.
We've come this far, there's no turning back now. Very well. I, too, cannot allow any doubt to remain concerning this testimony.
You can't back down, can you? Such a perfectionist, Miles Edgeworth.
Coming from you, that's very funny. Very well then, Mr. Edgeworth. Where is your evidence that it has already stopped snowing when the victim was killed? Her body? They just grasped at the most obvious points and that's it. At least the judge has personality. Yeah. Well, that's what's great about the original judge, is that he has a personality. I'm gonna go with this. I mean, him as the killer, her whip caused the bruises. I bet they have to actually reprove it. Oh my goodness.
Ultimately, it all comes down to one point. That being, whether or not it was snowing in that courtyard when the victim was stabbed.
That's right, but proving that is...
incredibly easy.
Yuppa-doo, yuppa-day, ha-ha-ha-ha. I rest my case. If that was the case, haha.
If you want to know whether it was snowing or not, this photo will tell us everything. Of course, I'm referring to the photo of the crime scene.
She has no snow on her.
As you can see, everything is covered with snow. With just one exception.
And that is...
the victim herself, Miss Elise Easton. Why is there no snow on top of her? The answer is simple. It had stopped snowing when she was killed, that's why. In other words, if the killer really did go to the Eagle River to dispose of the murder weapon, then in this photograph, there should be 2 sets of tracks.
Ah! Woohoo! Order. Just what are you,
Just what are you suggesting, Miles Edgeworth?
To be honest, I'm not entirely sure myself, but this is simply what all of the facts point to. That night, someone used the snowmobile to leave Hasakura Temple. From the tracks left, it can be understood that they were heading for Dusky Bridge. At that time, it was still snowing.
Of course it was, because those tracks were erased by the snow.
Then, when this person returned to Hasakura Temple, the snow had stopped. Thus, the return tracks remain.
since that small runs still her knees.
She doesn't need them. Why would she do that?
Say something? This all sounds a bit fishy to me.
What does, sister?
There is only one key for the snowmobile.
Furthermore, on the night in question, we know that the defendant had it. The key was found in her room after the murder.
Which can only mean that night, Iris used the snowmobile to go to the inner temple. But Iris said that she never went there.
Drew, you gave her no legs and arms. Does it for the thrill? Oh my gosh.
No, she would not do it for the thrill. And two, technically, I could give her arms and feet. I've attempted in the past. And she might get an upgrade with arms. And maybe feet. In the future, when I figure that out.
Should probably press on this point some more when I get the chance.
Okay.
The snowmobile can't cross the suspended bridge. So she must have left it on the Hazakura side of the bridge and crossed on foot.
That sounds right.
But what's odd is when I left Iris and returned to Hazakura Temple.
This is minus the voice.
What do you mean? She has no voice.
Limbs just make her arms and legs robotic, but not attached to the torso. Oh my goodness.
I didn't see anything near the Dusky Bridge.
You must have just failed to see it, sister.
Maybe, but when I made it back to Hazakura Temple, it was there, by the main gate. The snowmobile, I mean.
And that's not even her voice. If you don't know who Shakira is, I don't really know what to tell you there.
I know what I saw. It was covered in snow, too. But that isn't possible.
How does that work? No, the other voice? Oh, you mean the knees? That's text-to-speech. I don't think that's what Small Ren sounds like, but, you know. Order in the court. What does this all mean?
So then what was the snowmobile used for? It wasn't taken by the defendant when she went to the inner temple. If it had been, then the witness couldn't possibly have seen it by the gate. Furthermore, it wasn't used by the killer to dispose of the murder weapon. If that was the case, there should be 2 sets of tracks in this photo.
Did Larry use it?
All I know is this. After it stopped snowing, someone used the snowmobile to return to Hazakura Temple.
Never thought a simple snowmobile could cause so much trouble. I think we've learned all we can from this witness.
Yes, I have nothing more to add. I've told you everything that I know.
If getting a voice, you should just make her have text-to-speech for her voice. Maybe. Like I said, it just worked because I thought it was funny. It might be text-to-speech in the future, who knows? But then that still leaves us with the same problem. If only there was someone, a witness who could testify to having seen the snowmobile.
A witness, huh?
Was there no one out, walking perhaps near Dusky Bridge on that night?
I don't think that's likely. It was cold enough to freeze your ears off.
Also, now we need to see the niece in this model. What text-to-speech? From a YouTube short that the recent one that I released, I used text-to-speech.
Only an idiot would go out wandering in that.
Do you mean, this one? Why do you've already technically seen, it's in thumbnails. My legs and everything in this model has technically been seen before in thumbnails where I'm jumping up. You can hear Small Run in it. No, that's your guys' assumption.
Unless they had something really important to do.
That's a shame.
Hold on. Something is coming to me. An idiot may well have gone wandering out on that subarctic night.
Your Honor,
Actually, there is just might be one individual who may be of help to us.
Really? You know of someone who might have seen the snowmobile on the night of the murder?
bent upward, so technically we have not seen the full thing. Fine, I can just show it real quick. I'll just have to fix everything again. Whee! There. Ba-da-ba-da-ba-ba-ba-da-bum. There. That's literally all it is. Bum 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 bum. But yeah. Alright, I'm gonna fix this. There we go. Oh, I'm gone. Oh, whoa, whoa. Hi, Edgeworth. I guess I grew a little too big for the skirt. I was like, oh, did I go off screen? Owns the stream. Ha 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 ha. Very, very funny. I ended up becoming too. I don't even know how this happened. She said, okay. We're good. Okay, we're good now. Bigger than the Titans. Stop looking for a minute. Oh, I showed someone. I was asked to show like the full model of this full outfit for this one, and when I put everything back into place, apparently I just grew 10 times more the size than I was. So then I took up most of the screen. It was just like, hello. I have become giant. And now I'm back to normal size. She has socks that reach up to her thighs. No, those aren't socks. It's a whole, they're boots. We are the hunters and they are the prey. Oh my goodness. But yeah, it was just an accidental thing. I was so confused. Don't worry, I was confused too. I was like, why? Why was I just giant? Because I was like, where did I go? Because I was like off screen. And then I was like, oh, yeah, they're boots. You might not think it that way, but that's how I made them. Her whole suit is socks. Ha 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 ha. Okay.
I don't know for sure if he saw it or not, but there are two things about him that do come to mind.
Which are?
First, that he saw something incredible on the night of the murder.
And the second being?
Are they so shiny? Because I'm an alien. I can float. Sweet! I can float in a spaceship, so you know. I think anything's possible. And the bottom of my, like, boots are blue. It's only the top that looks kind of... It's like a whitish blue.
This individual that I'm thinking of when wandering out sighed on that cold night. In other words, he is our kind of idiot.
Just thinking your planet, everyone is shiny. I guess, if that's what you consider shiny. Mr. Edgeworth, who is this idiot you're talking about? I don't know. I don't know. Who could possibly be it? Could it be our dummy Larry Butts? Larry Mulloy. Come back, come back, come back, come back, come back, come back. Whoa! Disrespect kind of deserves it, though. Okay, I'm back. OBS disconnected. Are we good? I think we're good. Holy moly. That was right. But yes, he kind of deserves it. I don't think any of us will deny that fact. This guy must be a product of Jean-Luc de Ladouce's Guide to Obnoxious French Painting. This is stream lag for a bit. Yeah. OBS disconnected and then reconnected, so sorry about that. It was reconnecting itself.
This is Larry Butts, disciple of the victim, at least it leaks to him.
Her student? Interesting. And why was he wandering about outside on the night of the murder?
That's... I could tell them all about his designs for us, but it may cost us his credibility as a witness before I even call him. He is, after all, an artist. He was perhaps searching for something in the snowy scenery that would move him. I mean, I cannot guarantee that this is the reason.
And so, this unfortunate, unreliable-looking man, what exactly was it that he saw?
3 tears. Oh my goodness.
I intend to extract that from him right here in this courtroom.
Summon this youth as a witness immediately. I have no choice, do I?
I believe he is in the gallery for this trial. It will not take long to summon him.
Very well, Larry.
You may have escaped me yesterday, but today I'm going to get everything out of you.
Oh yeah, didn't he have like ridiculous amount of Cyclops? Goodness. Why is OBS being a pain today? The court will now adjourn for a 20-minute break. Miss Ankara, please see to preparing the next witness.
Understood, Your Honor.
Good. Well then, court is now in recess. I can drink some water. Something stinks. It's usually the butts. Usually the butts. We left 5 sight locks from this last time. Yep. So he's got some explaining to do. February 9th, 11:15 a.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby, number 1.
Excuse me, Mr. Edgeworth, I'm not really sure what to say.
Iris, we only have 20 minutes. There are 2 things which I need to ask you before we reconvene.
Alright, I'll help you any way I can.
First, about that night, you really didn't go to the inner temple, correct? The last witness claims to have met and talked with you in the training hall. Either you or Sister Bikini is lying.
Mr. Edgeworth, it is just as I said yesterday. Until the incident occurred, I was in my own room in Hasakura Temple.
Very well. The second thing, then. That night, the temple snowmobile was used in between the time Sister Bikini returned to the main hall and when she bore witness to the murder. Sometime between 10:30 and 11 p.m. that night. Were you the one who used the snowmobile? Goodness.
There's only one key for the snowmobile. The only person who could have used it was me.
So it was you.
Why? What made you go out to Dusky Bridge?
I'm sorry, Mr. Edgeworth.
Oh, come on! Holy... It's as bad as Larry!
Iris.
I can't tell you about that yet.
Yet.
Not until her safety is confirmed.
Her?
The safety of the acolyte.
The acolyte, huh? She must have be talking about Maya.
Oh, what do you call black hair? What do you... like brunette? I think it's like... black-haired people, like brunette is brown, blonde is yellow. I think it's like... people say like black-et? I think that's what it is said. What? So it's like brunette, but instead of brunette, it's like black-et? Or just dark-haired is another thing? Okay, well that's not what I was looking for, but... lame. At least that's what I... or, like I said, it's either black-et or maybe dark hair? That's just my guess. So why does she want to confirm Maya's safety? Interesting.
Iris, look me in the eye and tell me the truth. Did you kill Elise Denise in him?
No matter who or what may come, I could never take a life.
As I thought. No Cyclops. Very well. It is my job to get to the truth. You'll discover this for yourself soon enough.
Oh boy! February 9th, 11:36 a.m. District Court Room number 7. Clearly trying to avoid the main situation or switching the subject. Yeah! Court will now reconvene. Miss Von Karma, where is the witness?
During the break, a man was detained for suspicious behavior in the gallery.
I'm sorry, Larry. What did you do now? What specifically suspicious behavior did he commit this time? Like, come on, if he was just sitting there, you can't really say that he was doing suspicious behavior. What did he do? I need to know.
Suspicious behavior?
He was sketching something very intensely.
Oh, come on, that's not that... Really? That's the thing that's suspicious of all the things? Stared at a painting weirdly. Dare I ask what the witness was sketching when he was detained?
He drew a terrifying woman, armed with a demonic face and a vicious wit.
So he was detained because he made an artistic representation of, Francisca. Well, that's his own fault, ain't it? I can only presume that his intention was to capture you. Ah! Steve the Killer. Accurate. Ha 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 ha. Yes, it is an accurate picture of Francisca. From an outward perspective, yes, very. You can't even get mad at it for that.
Yeah. Anyway, it's time to drag this pathetic excuse for an artist before the court.
He actually is not a bad artist.
If he wasn't such a womanizer
and focused on his craft, the ladies would be coming towards him all on their own. If he stopped being a weirdo and focused on his craft. Goodness.
Larice Denixton him. I hope you're ready. Get in here.
It would seem that the whip is going to see plenty more use today.
Well, yeah, it's Larry. Why has she got a whip? Because Francisca... This is Francisca's best friend. And that is how she conducts herself in court. I'm not saying that... Obviously, in real court, that would never happen. But, you know. Just reached his peak before that girl showed up. Yeah.
Your sketch is in contempt of this court.
Hey, I was just artistic interpretation.
You tried to run away from the bailiff who was trying to hand you your subpoena, correct?
Look, I'm nothing but a fledgling artist trading out in the mountains. I'm only down here in the city because I ran out of green paint. Well, to use the technical term for the color, viridian. I guess. That is also another thing.
Larry, this isn't an art store now, is it?
I know, I graduated junior high, okay? And we're all surprised, Larry. We're all surprised. Because you probably skip school all the time. Look, art is all about working in the fields, isn't it? Working in the fields?
I presume he wanted to say field work, I hope.
School graduation this simmering heat for around 3 hours. I am so sorry for you. I hope you drank a lot of water. You never finished high school? I think he finished high school. I am assuming he finished high school. I have that faith in Larry. I hope that he finished high school. I'm going to worry about Larry even more. Goodness. That's it. Thanks, buddy. Oh yeah, I don't blame you. I don't like the heat either.
It's kind of sad that I was able to understand his mangled trademark of a sentence.
Who's Larry? This is Larry. He's just going by Larice because he thinks that sounds artistic. Oh my, why did that take so long? Frick. You must have had a lot of students at that school, man. Wow. I just happened to stop in here and found a wonderful new model. So see, I've got nothing to do with this trial at all. I expect all of your faces to be red when you realize this mistake. Bright red. Or to see, use the technical term, Crimson Lake. Ouch. Oh, ouch. 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 Stop your pathetic blabbering and testify like a man. Refrain from whipping me, Miss Von Karma. Cross-whipping is as bad as cross-checking. I didn't know we were in frickin' hockey. Witness, that was all your fault. Testify now. This is too much for me. Total of 1,200. Yeah, we had to go through each one because we all reached above an average grade, as we call it, honors. Wow. Well, I applaud. That's good, but yeah, no wonder it took so long. Mike. What I saw. I was at the lodge out in the mountains looking up at the stars that night. I walked to the bridge a number of times, but I didn't see a snowmobile. I didn't see anyone at the bridge that night either. Oh, hi, Cat. Battery on the court. I don't think that will ever stop in Francisca's career. She kind of deserved that. Yep. That girl I was waiting for didn't show up. My teacher died on me. I'm all alone now. Aren't I, Edgy? Witness, please refrain from talking directly to the lawyers during your testimony. I'm just a nobody, nothing but a small, worthless man, aren't I? Why wasn't I asked for my name and occupation, or anything else? Mr. Edgeworth, this man seems to have quite a severe inferiority complex. Oh boy.
He has recently been the cause of numerous incidents. I think he's finally realized for himself just how much of a nuisance he's been to other people.
Yeah, that's right. I'm behind everything, every case. Watch out, okay? Just touch me and it will make you eternally unhappy. Well then, let us proceed with the cross-examination. With no touching, thank you. Oh wow. Poor Larry. I kind of feel bad for him. Kind of. We can delve into other details at a later time. Oh boy! Lodge. I walked to the bridge a number of times, but I didn't see a snowmobile. Why were you walking to the bridge?
A number of times. How many?
Maybe 5 times. I went once every 20 minutes.
Which means you spent almost 2 hours at Heavenly Hall that night?
Not that, goodness. You bet. Real love is about waiting with your heart in your hands. Grade up to senior. Also because we started from 7th grade up to senior, so yeah. Wow. I'm not even going. I don't know what to say to that. Love, you say?
It was this man's intention to summon the defendant to the small shack. using this blackmail letter.
Blackmail? No, that was simply a product of overflowing love. You huff... Goodness, I have to read this. You huff, puffy, loosely, goosey, excuse for a whimpering, whining wuss of a weakness. So, what did you see? I hope for your sake you saw a snowmobile. You huffy, puffy, loosey, goosey, excuse for a whimpering, whining wuss of a witness, eh? Why are we doing tongue twisters? There's just waiting there, no food, just chairs and long speeches. Ugh. I just feel so bad for everyone involved. They'd just be like... Can we just end it? Can we be done? Well, you see...
Being called those names doesn't seem to bother him at all.
Where's Godot during this? Apparently he didn't pick up the phone. So Godot's not here right now. He may pop up during this case, but maybe later. But he apparently didn't pick up the phone to be the prosecutor.
Larry, you really didn't see it.
Hey, no need to hit your desk, I can hear you! Karma's tongue was just like a whip. Ha 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 ha. With okay, imagine going through that 5 more times. Nope, don't want to imagine. I didn't see it, I didn't see a snowmobile.
Larry, say snowmobile for me, please.
Snowmobile?
If you truly have nothing to hide, then why are you stammering like you just flew out of a cuckoo's nest?
Shut up! What is this? I don't know! Don't ask me!
Seems that I'll need to start from a more obvious contradiction. I'm going to strike the blow that will finally get him to spill the beans.
I didn't see anyone at the bridge that night either.
Okay, you didn't meet anyone.
That's right, because I got nothing to do with this. I'm just here to buy some Viridian paint, okay? Come on, I expect to see those crimson lake faces now! It would appear that simply pressing him isn't going to be enough, Mr. Edgeworth.
Indeed. Seems as though he's going to claim to have nothing to do with this to the end.
I just don't want this guy to cost us any more time. I need to slice through his obvious contradictions and keep things moving along. Boom, boom, boom. And then looking up the stars, I walked to the bridge, but I didn't see a snowmobile. I didn't see anyone at that bridge either. Huh. Put a lie to it, I'd bet he wouldn't say a single truth. Well, that just depends on particularly what truth that he would want to say. I just gotta look at these again, goodness. Whatever's the matter, Mr. Edgeworth. Okay, this changed.
This one single statement is so full of contradictions. For a moment there, I thought I was going to collapse.
So, witness, any ideas as to where this contradictions in your testimony lie? Depending on your answer, I may stay my whip.
Okay, give me a minute. Well, it was snowing that night, so I couldn't possibly have seen the stars. That rundown shack is hardly a lodge, is it? And even if the stars could be seen, it isn't like I was still there to look at them, right? Wow.
See, you can do it if you try.
Ouch.
There is only one issue here. What you saw at the ski bridge.
Get over that was the thing that Edgeworth just was like, there's so many issues. Larry knew exactly what the issues were, and he's like, well... Day of that night, courtyard. Oh, boy. Let's find the exact percent of his brain. Yeah. I just can't believe how, like, just everyone looked at him like, what? Number of times? How many? Maybe 5 times. Every 20 minutes. You bet. It was made in intention, blah, blah, blah. Well, you see... So the snowmobile, I don't think is that. I didn't see anyone at that bridge that night either. So it's either this statement or this statement. Because Bikini walked back and forth, so it would be weird that you wouldn't see Bikini. Car... That's just my guess. Because I have no idea. I'm gonna be honest. The freaking last case is always the most difficult, where I'm like, this is the least interesting case yet. Really? You call this least interesting? It'll get more in... If you think it's least interesting now, it's gonna get... very interesting later. I thought I went to the wrong thing and almost was like, oh no. Oh. Okay. So yes, I am thinking in the right regard. Okay. Wait, I didn't see a snowmobile. I didn't see anyone at the bridge that night either. Okay, that makes sense.
Larry Butts, I can understand why you might want to throw your old life away. You're pretty pathetic, and you cause all sort of trouble.
I'm sorry.
It's Edgeworth's case. Goodness. But having realized just how much of a nuisance you've been, that could be considered a step in the right direction.
Edgy, are you trying to console me? Certainly doesn't sound that way to me.
However, I cannot forgive you for simply turning away from the incidents you create.
Ah, you're totally pinning this on me.
Now then, let us talk about the night of the murder. Sister Bikini, after seeing the murder take place, you asked Phoenix Wright to report it. Thus, he headed for the public phone by the bridge. There, he happened across a certain nefarious individual. You, Larry Butts.
That's right, me in the flesh. Listen carefully, witness. It doesn't matter if you change your name. So long as you remain pretty pathetic, you will continue to cause these incidents. That reality will not change. But what do you want me to do then? And Miss again, what did Larry do? He didn't do too much. Well, like I said, I'll try it later. At some point. The only thing you've really missed is that, Larry drew a picture of Francisca as a demon with a whip, and he was given a subpoena. So, you know.
Larry, what you need to change is your inner self, but for now, what you saw that night...
Goodness.
Testifying truthfully about this one issue is all I need from you.
Yeah, it might be a possibility. Like I said, if I like it, I might do a stream. Francisca. Goodness. Then I'm working out and keep changing tabs. Oh! He was given some, subpoena. He was considered in contempt of court. In, Francisca's words. That's her wording, not mine. Hey, G, I think I've finally woken up. Well, I guess I could still be sleeping. But anyway, I'll do it. I'll testify. Well, I'm not sure this will go especially well. Subpoena. Subpoena. I can't frickin'... What is the word? Subpoena? Let me get this. When's the poll for the cow's name? I was gonna do it tomorrow. So this is the word I'm saying. Subpoena, which is a right ordering a person to attend court. So I think that Francisca was gonna sue him. For moonshine, you mean? Oh boy. I'll ask again then, witness. What did you see on the night of the murder? What I saw, part 2. Well, it's a good thing to not see that word, because that means that you didn't do anything related to... You weren't involved in anything that needs you to go into court. It's just it's a paper that says you need to come to court at this date, this time. And that could be because you're being sued. I think it's typically when you're being sued. Or as a witness. What's the blue-haired called again? Blue-haired. Oh, Francisca? She's called Francisca. Larry was summoned to court but tried to hide to avoid getting the murder pinned on him even though he was never accused. Yep. There you go. I guess that is a great explanation right there. I went to the shack at around 9, so it would have been about 10:30 p.m. I was lying under my bedding when a white flash almost blinded me. I looked out the window and Dusky Bridge was on fire. There was still some thunder, but I went right away to check it out. That's when I ran into Nick. Huh. You certainly saw quite a lot, didn't you? So, what happened to the bridge after it caught on fire? It was like me after a 3-day stint chasing a girl. Totally burnt out. Like, almost totally gone. Someone's looking for basic information. It may even just be to give documents. I think so. Yeah, because it's not always like murder. It could just be, oh hey, you have these important papers. You need to come to the court. Point is, it's just saying, come to the courthouse, please. I mean, trying to cross the burning remains was what caused Nick to fall. What did you say?
Oh, don't worry. It's nothing life-threatening. He just caught a cold.
I'm just gonna say, he is, as Francisca said, he is very... Should he be called lucky or unlucky? But also, he's lucky he only got a cold and didn't die. Did you do it again? Why did you end up doing that? Did this. Oh, wait. I wanted to just unpin. There we go. There we go. I never know with that man if he should be called lucky or unlucky. Now, Mr. Edgeworth, please commence your cross-examination. Bum, 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 bum. You didn't miss something. Someone just put the wrong thing. Look, I have a lot of codes in my clipboard and sometimes I paste the wrong thing. It's fine. It's fine. I looked over and I'm like, yep, that's a mistake. I went to the shack around 9, so it was around 10:30. Yeah, it's fine. I looked at it and I'm like, that's code.
What did you do out there in the cold for an hour and a half?
Well, if you really must know, I was busy being excited, I guess.
Excited? Dare I even ask?
You said the meeting time is 10 p.m., right? But I couldn't wait, and I thought she might come early, too.
Well, it appears she didn't come at all in the end.
Because they never arranged to meet in the first place, did they?
Yeah, I know you said that there was 2 of them.
Shut up, don't go picking my fond memories apart. Anyway, I was getting a little worried. I thought maybe Iris had lost her way. So every 20 minutes or so, I went to the bridge. But I didn't see anything particularly suspicious. I didn't have anything else to do, so I went back to the shack to wait for her.
Lying under my bedding when a white flash almost blinded me. The 3rd. Oh, wow.
Now this light was, of course.
Lightning! Like, kapow! Like a slap from Naomi, honestly, a big bada boom!
Or a little like that.
That's more like a punch from Miranda!
That's very worrying. that he knows the difference between past girlfriends' punches. Witness, did you actually see the lightning hit the bridge? Well, it was being started by the flash of light, so... I looked out the window and Dusky Bridge was on fire.
Seeing that, what did you do?
What do you think? I was burning up as well, from the fire in my heart. And that's why you went to take a look at the bridge? Well, to be honest, it was freezing cold, so at first thought, forget it, I'm not leaving my covers. But it had pretty much stopped snowing, so, I don't know, I changed my mind. I'm not sure I care for the forget it attitude you had at first, Witness. Anyway, there was still some thunder, but I went right away to check it out.
You said right away, but exactly how long after the strike was that?
The lightning fell and then the bridge caught on fire, maybe around 5 minutes. I mean, I suddenly thought, I gotta go check this out. How far is this small shack you were in from the bridge? Hold on, well, it had pretty much stopped snowing. I guess about a 5-minute walk.
And how did Dusky Bridge look when you got there?
Like I had recovered a piece of my childhood. I mean, not even the bonfires kids make during school camping trips can compare.
Well, should I press him for a little more info?
Oh, why didn't you call him? Why did you go to the bridge? Why didn't you call anyone?
Larry, let me ask you one thing.
What is it, Edgy? What's with the serious face?
Why didn't you call anyone?
Huh? What do you mean?
Normally, when faced with a towering inferno, one would try and tell someone. There's a public phone right by Dusky Bridge, correct?
Well, of course I thought of doing that. So then, let's hear why you didn't. Huh? Yeah, okay, a reason. My reason. Isn't that I didn't try to tell anyone, I just didn't have time to, okay? I arrived at the bridge and Nick showed up less than a minute later.
You claim to have arrived at the bridge at the same time as Wright?
I thought I'd better tell someone about this, but then Nick came up yelling about murder. It totally made me forget about the bridge. No, we don't know anything about Pearl. We have no idea. I'm assuming that she's at the Inner Temple with Maya. But that's my guess. We don't know anything where Pearl is right now. The fire was pretty much out by then anyway.
What's this feeling? I suddenly have a terrible case of unease.
It was after contacting the police that Phoenix Wright fell from the bridge, correct? Yeah, that's pretty much it. More or less. Told me about the burning bridge yesterday, but there's still something that doesn't quite fit. It looks like, despite his change of heart, Larry still isn't telling the whole truth. No, Pearl did not die. Alright, let me just check the other thing. Why did you go to the bridge? No, she did not die. She's completely fine in the future, so she's not dead. Goodness.
So you suddenly thought to check out the bridge? Does this mean that you initially had no intention of doing so?
Well, yeah, I guess it does. It was really cold. I didn't really want to go out there.
If that's the case, why did you change your mind? I would like to hear your reasoning.
In which case, please give testimony to that effect, witness. My reasoning? Okay, reasoning, is it? No, I didn't hesitate. I'm saying she, in future games, is an adult. So how would she have died? In this third installment of the series, if she's an adult in the future. I never thought I'd ever get a chance to see something so big burning. What are you on about?
So you decided to go and see what was happening?
Clone, no. What do you mean time is relative? She became an adult. I'm just not saying what it is because it relates to a case, so I don't want to say it.
That's right, we talked about a massive suspension bridge burning to high heaven. That's not something you see every day. A real like, really special?
Can we really trust a man who is unable to pronounce spectacle?
Life seems to love hitting this poor witness below the belt. Well, my motto is to hit life back as hard as I can. I'll give you a few hits too if you'd like. With my whip.
Told me about burning bridge yesterday, blah 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 blah. Went to the shack around 9, blah blah. I looked, there was some fire, there was some thunder. I thought I'd never get another chance to see something so big burning. That's such a weird thing to think. Enter testimony. What's the frickin' weather? I don't think the weather report is the lightning struck 10:45, around 30 minutes passed between the fire starting and going out. 10, make sure you, let's see what to be exposed. Why? What does it want from me? I'm actually getting annoyed with this game. I'm like, I don't know what it wants from me. Wait, so it want... Did it change? Something, check with it, I thought I'd say no chance. Huh. Looked out for some fire, there was some thunder, but I'm sure. Okay. So it's a Alright. I am confused. Why didn't you call anyone? Apparently is the... So I was correct the first time. I guess I assumed that these were things that existed. Less than a minute later. Apparently. Why am I guessing right on the weather report? Bullcrap.
Your very existence being a contradiction, I'm not sure if you can grasp this or not.
What the hey, Edgy? You make me sound like some sort of alien!
But your testimony is conclusively contradictory. The problem here is time.
Wow, ain't that a convenience? Einstein's theory of relativity, we conclude one can both be dead and dull in the future, especially since somebody is dead, but hot in the future? Huh? But you mean not?
I've never been the best timekeeper, you know. 3 minutes after Billy leaves on foot, you follow him on your bicycle. How long does it take for you to catch up with them? Terrible at those.
This is much more simple. You saw the lightning strike Dusky Bridge, and immediately went to see what happened. Is this correct?
Yeah, well, I wasted about 5 minutes first, but more or less.
I have the weather data from the night of the murder here. According to this, the lightning fell at 10:45 p.m. You said it'd take less than 5 minutes from the shack to Dusky Bridge, meaning you probably got there around 11 p.m.
That all sounds about right, I guess. And then Nick showed up and did his falling act.
Oh yeah, didn't the murder take place at, wait, that makes me think. I'm keeping the typo. I own that now, my goodness. What is the autopsy? Time of death, 11 to 10 p.m. 10 to 11 p.m. And then Bikini saw it around 11. Yeah, so he would have already been there before Wright. Way before.
That is impossible.
What do you mean?
11 p.m. is when the murder occurred in Hazakor Temple. Thus, Wright was still there, in the courtyard. To claim one's mistakes, goodness. There's no way that Larry could have encountered him at the Dusky Bridge at that time.
It makes sense now.
Excuse me, I have an objection.
You do?
Edgy, how many times do I have to say this? I'm not Larry. I'm Louise Denise to him. Yeah.
It has not been proven that the murder occurred at 11 p.m. Oh, excuse me.
It has not been proven that the murder occurred at 11 p.m. The sister only said around 11. In which case, it would have been earlier than that.
Well, I think... Is she? I thought she's 18 now. No, 19. She's grown up. It's been at least a year. I think it's been a year. I forget about those freaking eyebrows.
In which case, it could have been earlier than that.
Watch your footing there, Miss Francisca von Karma. The slope ahead is slippery. But there is no way that Wright could have been at the Dusky Bridge at 11 p.m.
And why not?
It's clearly written here in the weather data report. It took around 30 minutes for the bridge to burn out. Therefore, the bridge must have been burning until at least 11:15 p.m.
Oh boy. Which means what exactly?
Wright did not see the bridge while it was being consumed by the flames that night. In fact, he did not arrive on the scene until after the flames had died out.
Yeah, that is very accurate.
I don't... Larry, you arrived at the bridge at 11 p.m., but Wright did not make it there until at least 11:15. I suggest you stop hiding things and just tell us the whole truth, now then.
What happened during these missing 15 minutes? Alright, well, I gotta take a quick break. And then we will continue with what Larry has to say. I will be right back. Don't cause chaos. Got it? Alright. I'm back. Freaking... I see you guys were being silly. Goodness. Okay. It is time to continue and see what Larry has to say. Hi. Yes, I see everything. It just meant the same thing. I can tell. I never said that you broke the rules. I'm just saying, I see all. Just remember that. I see all. This is my domain, so I make the rules. And we see you. Goodness. Alright.
Erk. I feel like I just got brutally woken up by toilet splashback.
It's domain expansion. Oh my gosh.
I guess I was still sleeping after all. Pinch me.
Order. Order!
So there was a missing 15 minutes prior to meeting Phoenix, right?
Typed in a crisis too, I guess.
So there was a 15 minutes prior to meeting Phoenix, right? I hardly see that as much of a problem.
But
Yeah, not much of a problem at all.
glad I'm not human, oh boy. Really?
The bridge is burning before your eyes and there is a phone right next to it. Why then, did you not report the incident?
Yes, witness, why didn't you? Were you there simply to watch the bridge burn?
And therein lies the problem. For even after the bridge had burnt out, he was still there. Staring into space, this witness didn't even attempt to fulfill his civil duty.
That's what it sounds like.
Ah, but this is Lara we are talking about. Even he is incapable of being so stupid. Which means there has to be a reason for his inaction.
Edgy. I think it's about time I got serious with you, dude.
Just as I thought. You've been playing with us all this time.
Listen, I'm going to tell you everything. Are you sure you want to hear it all?
Yes.
I may say it this time. Everything.
Then say it.
Excuse me. Then say it.
Very well, I have a terrible bad feeling about this, but however, let's have the witness finally give us the whole truth. Now, for this 15-minute gap, what were you doing, witness? Oh boy. The missing 15 minutes.
I'm a him. I'm an artist. What do you think I was doing? Sketching in front of the bridge. I was whipping up into a frenzy of art. The shock and awe that I was feeling, I transferred it all directly onto the page. Before I realized it, the flames had gone out and then he came running up.
Who knows what Lara was drawing? I suppose artists can be strange folk.
That's right, I'm willing to sacrifice everything in order to draw the perfect sketch.
I think you're insane, Larry. With more stupidity. Yep.
Including the truth from the sound of it.
Mr. Edgeworth, has this removed the last of your doubts?
Not at all, Your Honor. One very large doubt still remains.
And what would that be?
This is a surprisingly believable story, especially considering the source. So why did he think he needed to hide it from us until now? I intend to drag the reason out of him.
Oh, goodness.
You regret this, Edgy?
I think I remember what his painting looks like, or sketch, but I don't know. I'm an artist. What do you think I was doing? Sketching in front of the bridge.
Sketching the burning bridge.
The burning bridge and everything that came with it.
What came with it?
You want to hear this from my lips, do you, Edgy? You regret this. The sketch of mine is...
Wants to spare us from the truth. Yeah. Enough.
Just take that ridiculous sketch of yours out already, weakness. What are you talking about? I don't know what you mean.
That does indeed appear to be the fastest solution. I'll leave it to you, Mr. Edgeworth.
What should I do? I've got a terrible feeling that the instant the sketch is revealed, the entire world may be changed from what is depicted there.
Look at the sketch. We got to.
Larry, I wonder if you could show us your sketch. Please?
Well, even I couldn't have imagined it turned out like this.
Imagined what?
That Larice Denise debut would take place here today like this.
Hang on, like 1 second. Why? Oh, goodness. Alright, let me put the music back on. Are you guys ready?
Show it, now. Okay, but steel yourselves. This is the work. This is the world of Larice Denise.
Yep, it is that painting. I remember it. I can't believe I remembered it. Well. So this is Dusky Bridge, correct? Quite a large bridge, isn't it? Your response, Miss Von Karma?
Yes, well, it's a better drawing than I expected. Isn't it? I struggled to reproduce those flames, I really did.
They shipped it, Freddy's. What do you mean? Yes, I'm sure you did. Oh my.
This is going to get ugly. No one has the courage to bring it up, it seems. This mysterious flying object. Larry?
What? What?
The burning bridge is fine. But what is that unfortunate-looking figure?
Oh, you spotted that? I thought you might.
However much I want to ignore it, I can't.
It's Iris, of course. Iris. I wish she'd take better care of herself. We had to plan for our future, you know. What would have happened to her if she had injured herself flying like that?
And by the way, Larry's not lying. I want that to be prefaced. Larry may be pushing the truth off and things, but he's not lying. About what he saw. Yep.
Larry, please, answer this next question honestly.
Okay.
Are you really claiming to have seen this? Are you claiming to have seen the silhouette of the defendant flying over a bridge that was engulfed in flames?
Yep, that's what I saw. That's why I drew it. I'm an artist, a real artist.
You...
Hi? The girl, she really high up in this picture. She's really high up in this picture. Sell me of the one you're taking, too, please. Oh my goodness. You missed Larry's beautiful artist skills. What was that for?
This is all a bad dream. I was hitting you on the cheek to test that theory.
Please whip your own cheek from now on if you wish to test your wild theories. But yeah, that's fine. Yeah, we saw Larry's picture that depicted Iris apparently floating above a burning bridge. Yeah. Anyway, no court of law will ever acknowledge that people can fly.
Actually, there is some precedence for this.
She was flying pretty high, my sweet Iris.
She was about 30 feet above the bridge at least. It was really something to see.
Well, isn't that deja vu? Yeah, something like that. This has to be some kind of a mistake. Mr. Edgeworth, please bring this witness back down to earth. What? Me? This witness is your friend, is he not?
Accessory to foolishness. Miles Edgeworth.
Let us get back to the cross-examination by force if necessary. Mr. Edgeworth, I expect you to expose the obvious contradiction here.
Yes, Your Honor.
Looks like I've got another reason to remember this more.
Well, what did you think of my debut piece?
It's telling me, but I feel like I've seen that scene from another case. Yeah, I generally can't remember. And I'm being serious, I'm not being capricious here. I can't remember. Get that thing away from me. Larry's sketch. Horrible sketch of what he saw the night of the crime. Now hurry up and cross-examine him. Alright, so we got the picture. Now I gotta figure out what to do with it. Front of it was whipped down the frenzy bar. I saw her flying, her white hood fluttering.
Just where did you see this sight from?
Hey, no need to shout! When I was lying in bed in that rundown shack, the crack of the lightning bolt made me realize that bridge was burning. I just watched it for a while from there, thinking how nicely it was burning. Then after about 5 minutes, I saw it.
With money and sister officers, I don't know.
The defendant lying? That's right. That's what I decided when I decided to go to the bridge.
You see, that all makes sense. Aside from the sketch itself.
Yes, the sketch doesn't make any sense. I just need to convince that artist that his work is ludicrous.
The shock and awe that I was feeling transferred over the page. I'm just gonna say, white hood fluttering. I have her hood right here, though. Okay.
Larry, what did you really see that night? Not that I particularly care.
In your position, that's just being irresponsible.
That's then ludicrous. Hey, you can at least tell what it is.
I do exactly what I saw. I'll give you a whole $1, that's the truth.
If that is truly the case, then there's only one thing we can say for certain.
What might that be?
That the person who flew over that bridge could not have been the defendant Iris.
What? What do you mean? I don't understand.
A foolhardly folly of a foolish statement by an equally foolhardly fool. Is that like Chris? He would probably suck at rapping. Oh boy.
How exactly can you make this claim?
Tell us, Larry. According to this picture, the individual whom you say you saw was wearing a hood, correct?
Of course she was. That rundown shack is quite away from the bridge. That hood is what told me that this floating angel was my Iris. That hood is my darling Iris, and Iris is my darling hood.
Huh. It seemed there are bigger fools in this world than the one at the defense's bench.
Larry, there's something you need to be made aware of. On the night of the murder, Iris wasn't wearing her hood. She had given it to Wright as a gift. Are you going to change your story now? Perhaps it was Wright who took flight.
Everyone. Oh boy.
What are you talking about?
I think you understand what I mean just fine.
Why? Why did Nick have Iris's hood?
Oh my gosh, she's going to get upset now about this. Great!
What?
Now I get to do this.
Angie, what's going on with Iris and Nick? Why, you Nick, you dog!
That probably cut out. I do believe that this unbelievably mysterious sketch is destined to disappear, discredited, and discarded straight into the garbage. What is it now, witness?
It feels like I've been waiting 25 years for this very day to come. Angie, today is the day I get to completely stupefy you.
What? What is the meaning of your outburst, witness?
I hate to have to do this, but I have some definitive evidence.
Definitive? Evidence?
Iris did indeed come flying over the burning bridge. And I, Larice Denise shall prove it.
Brash, more like it belongs in the trash. Wow. You rhymed. I didn't expect to ask this again, but we shall be needing your testimony once again. Tell us anything you know that is concerning the defendant as depicted in this sketch. And show us your evidence that this nightmare was actually a reality. I agree with that sentiment. Oh boy. I think we all kind of agree. That's from SpongeBob. Huh.
Okay, I hope you're ready, Edgy. Because I'm going to feed you a whooping serving of pain.
You've been serving us a whooping serving of pain this whole time. Trust me. Proof that Iris flew.
When I reached Dusty Bridge, she was already gone. I was so worried, so I frantically searched all over for her. That led me to finding a beautiful crystal sphere, half buried in the snow. I'm sure that Iris was simply wearing a spare hood. After all, no one else could have lost a crystal sphere that night.
A crystal sphere?
This one, pretty, but finders keepers.
That sphere. Where did you find it?
Let me see, around here somewhere. Looks about right.
It was half buried in the snow? Where's Maya? Goodness.
It had pretty much stopped snowing by then, but there was still some falling as I walked to the bridge.
I think you're going too high with Larry's voice. What makes you say that? I didn't think I was going... I think that's about his voice. This court accepts this crystal sphere.
That's mine, okay? I want it back afterwards.
If you want it there. There's something on it. Oh my, it's blood. What? Blood. Crystal sphere, found half covered in snow near Dusky Bridge that night of the crime. It has blood on it.
You ready, Edgy? By tomorrow morning, you'll be calling me Master Larry. Yeah, I like the sound of that. No one's going to push me around anymore.
Too many cannabis. No, it just ended up going that way, I'm gonna be honest. Ugh, need that water. Didn't you want to be called Clarice Tenacinim only a few minutes ago? Mega's not picking up some of the words, that's why I can tell. Oh, that makes sense. Well, then I'll do this.
When I reached Dusky Bridge, she was already gone. I was so worried, so I frankly searched all over for her. That led me to finding a beautiful crystal sphere half buried in the snow. I'm sure that Iris was simply wearing a spare hood. After all, no one else could have lost a crystal sphere that night.
That's probably better. Puts out like a bit of the words. Like currently now, still? Or just previously? Bum 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 bum. And without a fight exposing the obvious contradiction, this test won't be easy. But I fear that all that waits us are further mysteries. Bum 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 bum. I'm just waiting to see, can you still hear? Or it's like really low sometimes. I don't know my terminology, so I can't explain it well. Huh. Is that still a problem? I draw no one else with lost crystal. No, it's only when you go so high-pitched with Larry's voice. Okay.
So this is at a fine level? It's only when I go up to this high.
I guess. Sorry. It's just very funny to me, I guess. I don't know why he got so freaking high-pitched, but you know. It happened. Delay will be the end of me. Ha 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 ha. It's fine. I'm just glad to know that it works. I can keep him lower. Larry, that night, there was someone who lost a crystal sphere.
There was? There was? Who was this stupid idiot?
Mr. Lee Stineaxonim, the mentor to a stupid idiot.
The victim?
have a photo of her here. And on the end of her staff, you can see a familiar-looking crystal sphere.
Hey! That's my photograph! Give it back! Give it back!
Goodness.
Give it back! Give it back! Ouch! A crystal sphere like that is quite easy to find. I have one just like it on my brooch.
That's a sphere? It's like a triangle.
They look nothing alike. In any case, please take a look at this. This is the victim's staff found at the scene of the crime.
Ah, the crystal sphere. It's gone.
What? 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 What?
And that one I actually faded out.
What?
Just what does this mean?
If anyone jumped or flew across the bridge that night, it certainly was not Iris, after all. She was not wearing her hood. More importantly, the crystal sphere found at the landing site was not hers either.
So you're telling me Elise flew? Is that what you're telling me? That means that the one who flew and dropped the sphere was the victim, Miss Elise Denixtonin? Possible.
A fool alongside another fool on the fool's errand to reach a foolish conclusion. First of all, this sketch, which I prefer to call a scribble, is ridiculous. People cannot fly, thus it is rejected. You can't do that! I saw it with my own two eyes! And this crystal sphere. This is nothing more than a red herring.
You honestly believe that?
Give it some thought, and I'm sure you'll realize it as well, Miles Edgeworth. Elise Denise was in her room on the night of the murder. There was no reason for her to go to the ski bridge. Therefore, this sphere cannot be related to this case. That is all.
She did have her staff still, though. When we saw her, when Wright saw her for the last time, she did have her sphere. It's also, because if we're taking spirit mediums as people who could be flying, it could be Maya, it could be Pearl, it could be Elise, it could be Bikini, but I don't think Bikini would be doing that. So, there's a lot of people that it could possibly be.
Miss Francisca von Kalma. The only people who will accept that explanation are scatterbrains and clowns.
Why are you pointing at me?
The victim's crystal sphere was found near the bridge on the night of the murder. Yet you expect us to believe that this has nothing to do with the case?
That crystal sphere. It was probably thrown.
Oh my gosh, sorry.
It was probably thrown away at the bridge after the murder.
After the murder?
There is blood on the crystal sphere, isn't there? This naturally suggests that this was thrown away after the murder took place. The killer placed it there to throw the investigation off the scent, which is the exact same reason that he drew that ridiculous sketch.
Have we seen mediums fly? Talking with ghosts is one thing, but flying seems too much even for this game. I don't know. I'm just taking a guess of... I don't think we've seen mediums fly in this game that I know of. I'm just saying that obviously a normal person like Phoenix, who doesn't have spiritual powers, is not a likely candidate to be flying. If that makes sense. That's why I'm putting like the spirit mediums into question. But who knows if he actually saw someone actually fly. It could be the flames. It could be a ghost. It could be anything.
What? You mean I'm the killer? No! All joking aside, just when did this crystal sphere appear near the foot of the bridge? Unless this can be proven in some way, I refuse to believe this is related to the case.
Great.
She makes a vital point. There is no evidence that Elise Denison left Hazakura Temple that night. However, if somehow this crystal sphere can be proven to have been dropped before the victim was killed, then this case is going to transform into something else entirely.
Your response, Mr. Edgeworth? I want your final opinion on the disposition of this crystal sphere. If it is not related to the case, then this witness who you called will have been nothing more than a monumental waste of time. I don't think it was a waste of time. There's something here.
Prepare yourself for some very appropriate punishment, Miles Edgeworth.
Can I prove it? Can I prove that the crystal sphere was dropped before the murder took place?
My guess is yes. My guess would be yes. Okay, I'm just like, it is yes. Sorry. I needed to double check. I'm like, can I say yes in this instance?
Can I prove it? That isn't the issue. To simply prove it. That's the only option. That's what he'd do. That's the way Phoenix Wright would do this. Your Honor, allow me to prove something to you. I will prove that this crystal sphere is a vital link to solving this case.
You will do what? That look in your eyes. You remind me of Phoenix Wright when he is cornered.
That should come as no surprise. Because right now, I am Phoenix Wright, and I am indeed cornered.
Oh, I'm sorry, that's beautiful. That is just beautiful. Let me see. Is it in the photo? It's not. I'm curious if the thing was in there. Oh yeah, that reminds me. What is this? Carried by Elise when she was alive has her fingerprints on it. And it was at the scene. Okay. I order you to present your evidence, Miles Edgeworth. Mr. Edgeworth. Evidence that proves that the crystal sphere was indeed dropped before the murder. Bum 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 bum. Okay. This crystal sphere. It was half buried in the snow, correct? That's right. If it had stopped snowing, then it would have been game over. The snow would have totally covered it.
That's all I needed to hear from you, Larry. Your testimony makes one thing quite clear.
What?
When the crystal sphere was dropped, it was snowing, even if it was ever so slightly.
Snowing?
On the other hand, let us look at the scene of the murder. As proven earlier today, there is no snow on the victim's body.
Ah.
Therefore, the crystal sphere must have been dropped before the murder.
What? But my question is why? Why would they drop it all the way out there? If the bridge is so close, why wouldn't you drop it into the water? Order, order, order.
On the night of the murder, the victim did indeed go to Dusky Bridge, and there, something occurred that caused the staff's crystal sphere to come loose.
What could that have been?
The sphere. There is some blood on it, isn't there? Allow me to raise a certain possibility at this junction.
Create a quote for myself thanks to the judgment of my colleagues. Oh.
The real crime scene was near the foot of Dusky Bridge.
Okay, so you're saying that she died near the bridge? But then you're gonna tell me someone carried the woman all the way up that mountain? Okay, first to clock out me. Oh my goodness.
The murder didn't take place in Hazard Temple's courtyard? Only a fool would suggest such a foolish piece of absolute foolishness.
Just who is the fool and what part is so foolish, Miss Von Kalma? Miss Von Kalma?
Have you been paying any attention this whole time? This whole time, Miles Edgeworth. The sister saw everything. She saw the victim being killed by the defendant in Hazard Temple courtyard.
That's not exactly true, now is it? To put it more precisely, what she saw was a murder weapon being removed from the victim's body.
That's the same thing.
No, it isn't. You said it yourself.
Very little blood is actually lost at the moment of a blade's insertion. If you want to talk about when the most blood would be lost from a body, That would be when the blade is removed.
Wow, her own statement came to bite her in the butt.
Just like usual, if that statement is the truth, then Dusky Bridge could have very easily been the scene of the murder. The murder weapon was not removed. Thus, there was no bleeding.
You are forgetting one vital thing, Miles Edgeworth. At least Denise's body was found in Hazakor Temple. On foot, it takes 15 minutes to travel from Dusky Bridge to Hazakor Temple. You mean to suggest someone carried the body all that way?
Oh! So you're saying that Elise was killed by the bridge, and someone took the snowmobile to meet her, and then used the snowmobile to take her back. Your opponent's words against them is the best way to gain control of the situation. It is! But yeah, so they used the snowmobile to carry the dead body. Great.
I've made it this far. The only place to take this is to the end. I just need to prove that my version of events is also perfectly possible.
Now, if the defense is ready, the court would like to have an explanation. Please show us the method by which the victim's body was carried to Hazakor Temple.
On that snowy night, there is one way that a body could have been moved. Snowmobile.
You just said I'm immediately caught up to speed. Yeah. That's just what connected in my head. I'm like, oh, is that how it happened?
As we know, the snowmobile was used that night. It was explained as having been used to dispose of the murder weapon, but it could have also been used to carry a body.
It's definitely big enough to put 2 people on there. Bum bum bum. Order.
This is completely unacceptable, Miles Edgeworth.
It's kind of smart, actually. It is smart, because if the sword or whatever was input... So if we're assuming that the sword is actually the murder weapon, or whatever particularly, I'm assuming the sword, then she's dead, and she's not spoiling blood. So she's all freaking no blood's popping out, and they just carry her away. And it's late at night, so if they left during whenever they met, which was probably after 10, so it's dark, so no one's gonna see. Or even before then is a possibility.
This is completely unacceptable. I said that. You've dug yourself into your own grave.
I mean, putting someone to sleep for... Oh my gosh.
What do you mean?
The only one who could have used the snowmobile was the defendant. She's the one who moved the body. Doesn't that put the final nail in your coffin?
You're too late, Franziska von Kalmer. In fact, the defense has proven something else entirely. We have shown that this case requires further investigation.
What?
Where was the victim, Elise Denixenim, really killed? If her body was moved, wherever for? And finally, just what does this image mean?
Do you even need to think about that? Such a creature could never see the truth, let alone describe it.
This witness certainly sits on one of the lowest possible branches of humanity. However, he would never utter a lie that could hurt a girl whom he is enamored.
Wow, Edgeworth, you believed in Larry! Because of a fact. It's just a fact. He would not try to purposely... He wouldn't lie to hurt someone that he cares about.
He drew this, so it's something that actually happened. The defense stands firm on this point.
Edgy, thank you! That settles it then. I cannot give a verdict under these circumstances. Someone's not happy. I don't want to be that janitor trying to fix the desk that she's punched through.
Right. You seem to have fulfilled my part in this. It's just as I thought. Franziska von Kalmer, you make a wonderful partner.
There is even on a branch of humanity, but merely a twig. Yeesh.
Excuse me?
There was one reason and one alone for me being here. To expose the darkness lurking in this case, and then pass it on to Wright.
Really? Then what's this all about? You could have just told me that from the very beginning. Then I wouldn't have had Francisca with me at all. Dang! Miles Edgeworth. I don't care what you were here to do. This was my chance to finally grind you under my heel.
A shame that your chance seems to have slipped you by.
What a shame. Francie? This is all your fault. Such a terrible witness. You are an affront to all legal systems out there. Ouch! I demand satisfaction.
Are you okay, Larry? I cannot believe that the witness's testimony relates to an actual event. However, there has to be some sort of answer for the question it raises. Have his words here today been the truth or lies? Next time we gather in this courtroom, those are the matters that shall be addressed. I think he's just on the ground. He'll be fine. I am counting on thorough investigations by both the defense and the prosecution.
And with this, the rest is up to you, right?
She's so angry.
Court is now adjourned.
Woohoo! Yahoo!
Alright, time to do some investigating.
Yay!
Woohoo! I gotta double check how many is there? Okay, so one more investigation and then a 3-part trial. Oh boy. Would not be surprised if Vaughn next moves everyone on purpose. Who knows? February 9, 3:43 a.m. Hottie Clinic Intensive Care Unit. I can finally speak in my normal voice. I'm still up at this hour, reading through the trial record of a certain case. It's the first case my mentor, Mia Fey, had ever handled in a court of law. The horrifying truth that I refuse to accept is holding me hostage here within its pages. Are we talking about that freaking case? Boy. Dahlia Hawthorne. What I have read, I don't want to believe. What is written here isn't the Dahlia I knew. Well, I'm just gonna be honest. She tried to... Phoenix, it's been years. She tried to get you in for a crime she commit. Let her run in jail. I'm not gonna deny that fact, because I'm like, you say it's not the Dahlia I knew, but she's killed at least 2 men. 2 men! And tried to pin one of the crimes on you. Like, her last 2 boyfriends, maybe, that we know of, are dead because of Dahlia. There's no... You're lucky to be alive, Phoenix. Goodness. After falling into Eagle River, I was somehow miraculously saved. But I ended up catching a cold that seemed to knock me around the world and back. So you never existed. I feel dizzy, my ears are ringing, my throat burns, and my head is on fire. But I will recover. I have to recover by this afternoon. I have to meet with the most ill-tempered witness imaginable. But I know that he will be able to help me with them. Somehow. Oh, boy! That ain't Nicole if he is in... Yeah! Yeah, that's the point, you're Phoenix. Ha ha ha. February 9, 2:43 p.m., Dusky Bridge. Forgot to type in chat. It's fine, you don't have to type in chat if you don't want to. You're supposed to be... Ha ha ha. Well, yeah, he's Phoenix.
Right, are you sure you're well enough to be doing this? You still look a little green in the face.
Or maybe Viridian in artistic speak. Oh, caught the super cold. Well, obviously he fell from a bridge. Super high off the ground. I'm not surprised they put him in the intensive care unit, because he fell into a rapid river that could kill someone. In normal circumstances. Like, he is very lucky to be alive. To be very honest. Actually, my fever has gone down quite a bit.
How's your temperature now?
Only 102.2 degrees. Nothing to worry about. That's freaking high. What are you talking about? That's very high. You shouldn't be out of bed. They're making a joke because Larry said he went to go get green paint, or Viridian, as he said. Cough, 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 cough. Anyway, I read today's trial record. You weren't bad, Edgeworth. Pretty impressive despite the circumstances.
We're not in the clear yet. The main point of content tomorrow is going to be the motor weapon.
Yeah.
In the end,
Oh my gosh, why? It came back to bite me in the butt that I got
Cheeto did not deliver the deadly blow, which means there must be another sword hiding out there that we don't know about.
So, if there is another sword, my question then becomes, how did it get stabbed in her body? Like, did she have a sword before? And then they took the sword out and then re-stabbed her with this thing? Another sword, huh?
Don't worry about a thing, pal. I'll dig up the murder weapon myself, or I'll eat my coat.
Thanks again, Edgeworth. I'll handle things from here.
It's probably for the best. Actually, I was thinking about paying the old precinct a little visit.
Which did until the case was over. I didn't think it was gonna come back. Can I be blamed?
There's something I want to look into.
And that is?
A client's background, naturally.
You mean Iris, sir?
I have a feeling that we've met before.
Thank you. Chishito. Yes, I see it. I see it. I see it now. Goodness. I just didn't think it would come up again, because I thought, oh, we were done with it.
All I want is confirmation, one way or another, or the other. And since I probably won't be getting that from you,
I'm sorry, Edgeworth.
I bid you adieu, Wright? Take care.
See you in a little while, Edgeworth. Thanks for your help. You were great.
Guess I should get moving too.
Why? Do you need to be somewhere?
Yeah, I've got to get to work on this bridge, pal. I'm rigging something up so we can get across to the other side.
Yay, Maya's gonna be saved. Finally. Why did it take so long? That's right. Maya's still stuck over at the inner temple.
But don't you worry, pal. As soon as it's all set, you'll be the first to know.
Thank you, Gumshoe. Cough, cough. Cough, cough, cough.
No problem, pal. Just try not to give me that cough of yours, okay?
Give me... It's a test name, Warwise. What? It's dead man. She's not dead. Goodness.
Alright, I'm off.
What do you mean, a test name? Hang in there, Maya. We'll get you out, I promise. But in the meantime, I've got to continue collecting evidence. Well, I'm gonna go over here. Heavenly Hall. Looks like no one's here. Larry! Varese! I'm sure he'd be hiding here. Guess I'll try again later. Perhaps a lab rat that was just the one in Henry's labs. Oh boy. Look at this graffiti scrawled right on the front of the shack. At least he managed to get a pretty good likeness. When I really think about it, I guess art kind of suits him. I mean, his very existence is an art of sorts. Well, he could just be... I don't really know. Depends on what you want to go about doing for that. Can't do anything there. That's Dusky Bridge up there. It's amazing how clearly you can see it from so far away. Larry supposedly saw everything through the shack's window. Not much light getting down here, so it must be pitch black at night. But this area was probably illuminated that night because of the burning bridge above. Oh boy. The snow is really piled up on the straw roof. It's otherworldly, like something out of a fairy tale. Well, the roof part anyway. The sign says Heavenly Hall. I guess it's pretty fitting. If you spend a night in this little freezing shack, you'd probably find yourself at the pearly gates by morning. This is the famous Eagle River. I got to try out its rough rapids the other night. They say it has a really strong current, and they weren't kidding. It's both powerful and fast-flowing. I was dead lucky. I mean lucky to not be dead. That stuff is really ruining the beautiful atmosphere around here. So inappropriate. Like Sister Bikini in a bikini. Shudder. I think I gotta think of the kittens. 3 minutes more. Yep. These steps lead up to the foot of Dusky Bridge. Coming down is a cinch, but going back up doesn't look like a walk in the park. I'm starting to understand why rivers always want to flow downstream, not up. I think we got everything for now. I don't know if that's how we... Maybe I can look at the bridge... No clues. I thought maybe the bush would be something. That thing looks like it's ready to collapse, at least more than it did before. According to Bikini, Eagle Mountain is very prone to earthquakes. Which reminds me, if my memory serves me correctly, Edgeworth isn't exactly a fan of earthquakes. Now it really is more of a dusty bridge, more than a dusky bridge. That kidnapping incident happened here 11 years ago, so maybe it's cursed too. Hazakura Temple doesn't have a single private phone line, and there aren't any houses in the area, so I guess Bikini is the only one who uses this. To do it. It's fine. I really wish I had brought my cell phone with me. Alright, so I guess we'll just go back to the main gate for now.
Come on, please. It's for art's sake, I swear.
There's only one guy I know who could be this persistent and high-strung.
I'm talking about the heroine here, the heroine in my book. I'll make you famous.
Ark! Enough. A fool? Oh my gosh, why do you do this? A fools who foolishly accepts the foolishness of a fool's fool. Well, they're trying to get over to her now, so I'm assuming she is probably just really, really hungry. And wants a burger? Because she always wants a burger. Maybe there was food. We can just hope that there was food on the other side. Wouldn't you agree, Phoenix Wright? Huh? Me? Wait a second. I know you. You're, Ow. Your reflexes and mine need to shape up. Well, hey. There was ice-cold water. If anything, I don't think she smells. My brain's frying like a sunny side up, and you want to grill me over a name?
Francie, you can't do that! Even as we speak, Nick's on the brink of death! Or so I'm told.
With me a dead horse. Isn't that one of your American sayings?
No, it's not, and I'm not on the brink of anything.
Oh, come on, Nick. Tell her, would you? Tell her she needs to model for my new picture book, Francie's Whippity-Whip Trip.
Before you ask me to model, learn to give me at least semi-coherent testimony.
And before that, you'll have to learn how to live a semi-coherent life, Larry.
I don't care what anyone says, I'm telling the truth. I saw what I saw. She fool, I'm telling you, she whoosh, just like the dude with the red underwear.
Okay.
Don't think I'm gonna forgive you guys when you come crawling back to apologize.
Sigh. Off it goes.
It's amazing how little has changed with you in the past year, Phoenix Wright.
There's no way the temperature here is way too negative, especially with the water. Even if she tried that, she would not survive. I don't know. Failed kindergarten. Well, apparently he passed junior high, at least. So, who knows? I was just saying, like, yes. I'm not saying that that is logical, but she was apparently in cold water, so my assumption is that there's warm water around there. Since you're not gonna have someone that was bathed in cold water. Yes, he did. He said in literally early in the stream that he passed junior high. But I'm assuming there's warm water or something over there that they can dry off, because then they would walk through all the snow. There's no way. Hi, Francisca. Have you been in Germany all this time?
That's right, extending my perfect win record. Naturally.
Spring perchance? Probably. That's probably a good guess. Water's not the only thing you need to stop yourself from bleeding. Yeah, I'm not denying that. I'm just saying that I would assume there's a... Well, there's not like a soap, but I'm assuming there's maybe like warm water or something there. Or a towel or something to dry off. Because they're in the snow. There's no way you're gonna have someone walk from like... all the way over here, across a bridge, all the way up here. Like, that's ridiculous. They would freeze to death. So, they gotta have something over there to dry off. Oh, joy. Sounds like she hasn't changed a bit. Has it really been a year since we first met?
I'm Francisca von Karma, the prodigy.
I see.
I gave up a promising career in Germany and came to this country for one sole reason. Revenge.
Francisca was born and raised in Germany and became a prosecutor at the age of 13. Which is even younger than Edgeworth. I don't know. What is? Her father was the legendary prosecutor Manfred von Karma. He had a perfect win record for 40 long years. Yeah, she became a prosecutor at 13. That's how much of a genius she is. She became a prosecutor before Edgeworth did. Is that actually legal? Well, if she's able to pass... Okay, I like that joke. That's a good joke. I don't think that if she passed the bar exam, then she's completely allowed. Because all they have to do to get a license, lawyer license, is to pass the bar exam. I don't know how Germany works specifically, but I'm assuming it works the same way, where you take a test on the bar exam, and then you're able to get your license from that. Every lawyer, whether that's defense or prosecutor, has to have a license by passing the bar exam, so she passed the bar exam at 13. But now he's gone from this world. Okay, so he is dead. Interesting. Well, thanks for stopping by. Thank you, thank you. Don't tell me you still hold a grudge against me because of what happened to your father.
Phoenix Wright.
I would fucking get Savior Drone. Ha, no.
Phoenix Wright, you will fall before me. This I promise. But it will be for my sake, not my father's. Are we clear?
Why is that a thing? The lowest you can get is a 21. Did you look this up? Is that what you were wondering? Yes, Crystal. Today's trial.
In truth, I was shocked. I came back to America with the intention of defeating me. Instead, it was my little brother who was leading the defense.
I did. The lowest is 21. Like, is that the lowest that someone has passed, or is that the lowest requirement at 21? That's the... Like, is there an age limit, or do you have to be a certain age to take the bar exam? I'm just gonna look at the frickin' wiki because it's the minimum. And I'm not trusting Reddit. Blah, blah, blah. Court admission to the bar in the United States is granted permission by a particular court system to practice law. Trilogy, history. Admission requirements. There we go. Earns a Juris Doctor's degree or read law. Pass a professional responsibility examination or privilege. Pass a bar examination, exempted where diploma privilege is allowed. Undergo a character and fitness certification. And formally apply for admissions and pay requirement fees. Okay, so admission requirements, it doesn't say age. And yes, I know Wiki is not the end-all be-all, but you're just like, you see all these things about questions, and I'm not gonna click those. For jurisdiction, blah blah blah. It's just educational requirement, makes sense. Unlike other jurisdictions, the American legal system is no formal apprenticeship or clinical training. Okay, let's look at requirements to take Germany bar exam. Okay. Why is it so difficult? How can I become despite my overseas training? That's oh boy. Recognition. Blah blah blah. Refers to the descendants of Germans from the former blah blah blah. If you obtain law degree in present day, you are a descendant, you will fall under blah blah blah. Okay, you have to be a German citizen, which she fits. You obtain a law degree, which is possible. It's not an impossibility. So yeah, legal study diploma from a university, evidence of skill and knowledge. Additional aptitude or equivalence assessment. You must take a minute of skill. Be careful, well, the mandatory subjects are similar. Okay, so it's just a thing. Qualifications recognized. Recognize. Is there age? Yeah, I don't see age. Like, if I had to guess, what you found is probably what someone, the youngest person that they know of that has taken the bar exam, is probably 21. But I don't think it's an impossibility for Francisca. Yeah, I looked up Germany, and it's probably... What the frick? I can't read that. I saw it on the screen. Why did... Hello? Oh, I looked it up to Germany, and it probably takes 7 to 11 years to complete a law degree. Well, 7 years, so she's what, 13? So... I love that this is something I'm doing right now. So if we take away... So if we give her the benefit of the doubt... so 13 subtract 7. So she must have been studying at the... So if that's the minimum, you don't... We have to take a guess that she's a prodigy. And I wouldn't be surprised with that fact in mind that she was someone who just... Because if she was really good at what she was doing, she probably skipped through classes. Because depending on... I don't know everything, but yeah. That's all I'm guessing. And what do you mean, little brother? When I was 5, I was watching the Cars movie. Well, she did have Manfred von Karma as her father, so anything is possible. Because there's no limit, because most 13-year-olds are not going to take the exam. But if she has all the qualifications needed, by all means, they would let her take the exam. Because, hey, if she pays for the money to take the bar exam, by all means. You know? I was gonna say, you're 18, he's 26, what do you mean your little brother? Edgeworth. Come to think of it, Edgeworth was pulled into being a prosecutor by Manfred von Karma as well.
Miles Edgeworth told me something very interesting, you know? He said this case has a special significance to you.
Because it does.
And that's precisely why I am here. Your personal involvement will make crushing you into teensy-weensy pieces all the better.
It's probably the fever, but she's so openly hostile that it's almost kind of cute.
Ow. No smoking. No whooping the sack. That foolish fool doing such a foolish favor for such a foolishly foolish fool.
She's the only one who wants to be old, apparently. I guess. Well, she probably thinks as herself as the older one, because she was... Because you have to think that, in a way, Edgeworth was adopted. So in her mind, she's the older sibling. Because technically, Edgeworth, in a way, was adopted by Manfred, since Manfred took care of him when his father died. Edgeworth.
Make no mistake, Phoenix Wright. I came here for one thing, and one thing only. To pulverize you.
It's not like I thought you were here to bring me some Cold Killer X, you know. Alright, let's do this one more thing, and then we'll end for the night.
I went over the whole case. On file the flight over.
You read the whole thing?
Yes, every last word of every last sentence of every last paragraph.
And this is why she is a genius.
All the ridiculous things you did made it very interesting read, you know?
At least in his last name wasn't changed. Yeah. Well, because I'm assuming that he didn't want his last name changed. And I'd assume Manfred didn't want to be changed, because you have to remember, Manfred killed Edgeworth's father. So... anything is... possible. You know?
Attempting to cross a burning bridge, do you even consider the dangers?
No. The only thought in my mind was, I have to get across.
A fool who doesn't think he is more foolish than a fool who foolishly thinks.
Some issues that he let me know once the bridge was repaired. Maya, she's gotta be okay, I just know it. Plus, I need to ask her about what really happened at the Inner Temple that night. But yeah, I wouldn't think Edgeworth, because he respected his father a lot, he wouldn't change his name. At least he has a heart, you know. Yeah, he does. Yes, Wright has a heart. I don't think she still has a lot of growing up to do, I will say. I think she's 19 now? Yeah, she's the same age as Maya, so she's got a lot of growing up to do in regards, because, you know, Phoenix and Miles are a lot older than them, so, you know, lots of growing up to do. The complete opposite of Maya. Yep. Alright, well, I'm gonna end for the night. We got a lot of what's next. Tomorrow is the surprise I talked about, which is we are starting Hollow Knight. Might as well send their daughter to college. Yes, I'm starting Hollow Knight tomorrow. So yeah, be excited for that. Alright. See ya. Bye. Look forward to it. Bye.